these are the kind of guns I really do like to see them add to the game, because we don't really have a gun like this. A semi-auto sniper that has fast fire rate and very fast handling. We don't have that type of gun right now in Warzone or in MW2. So when they add one, that's cool. It's like a new type of gun that does a different thing than every other gun in the game. So again, kudos, irrespective of how well it's going to perform. It's definitely going to be good in multiplayer, by the way. For ad-free episodes, as well as early access and bonus episodes, check out our Patreon. Activision devs do not play their own game.
3,000 devs can't figure out how to add a reconnect feature to a AAA title, I guess. I don't know.
Because Infinity Ward doesn't tell their consumers anything.
Maybe that'll take some of the sweats away from Shoot House.
You can cope about that, for sure.
Thanks for tweeting, at least. Thanks for doing more than Infinity Ward has done. They just keep tweeting about the soccer bundles in the store.
Things that are bad. We've got a couple words. Why don't you kick it off, Tanner?
This is going to be a longer section than the first part you guys heard.
Change it, obviously, of course. We are live, boys and girls. Welcome to the Dropshot, a Call of Duty podcast, episode number 344. My name is Casey, also known as Razinon. Today, I'm joined by Tanner, and we have a nice little map of the street to go over today. A little street map.
Little street map.
Little street view. Street. Yeah. Little map of the road, as they say, as they call it. The Season 5 roadmap is released. It has details on what Season 5 will look like, in theory, and we're going to go over those. So, welcome to the show. Today we got that to talk about. That is, of course, the big thing here on the absolute agenda. A couple other little things, and then some leaks too, some more leaks to go over. We'll get into that as well. Some of which we've kind of talked about on Patreon, some of which we have not yet talked about really. So that'll be good too. But yeah, the main thing, of course, is going to be the Season 5 roadmap. And there are some things there to sink our little teeth into. Before we get into that, though, of course, we have a few announcements. First of all, welcome to our new gold patrons, Jansen T, John O, and Captain Burger. Our new gold patrons. Welcome, boys. Very much appreciated. Dig in the avatar, Captain Burger. It's a bald eagle in front of an American flag, which we take.
Let's take a peek.
So thanks for that. And welcome aboard, boys. Yeah. Very much appreciated. We also got Angry Ginger, our new platinum patron, a better person than the three of you. Very, very kind of you, Angry Ginger. And then last, and certainly not least, most in fact, we got a new Damascus patron. Such an absurd name that I'm a fan of it. Sushi Cunt. His name is Sushi Cunt. All caps, and the first S is a $sign. So we're just wiling all over the place with this one. And he's also a Damascus patron, so we love that, and we appreciate it. And welcome aboard, Sushi Cunt. And he's in the Discord, by the way. As all of you should be, of course. And Mike C also. Michael J.C. has upgraded to Damascus as well. Mike, thank you very much, buddy. We appreciate that. Patreon.com/thedropshot. And all of you who just joined the Patreon, boy, is it a good time to do so. We've just been machine gunning out content, dude. Just firing it out, full auto. And we've got some good episodes already out, and we got some more coming too. We got some more absolutely cooking. We're in the kitchen cooking.
Got one more coming, yeah.
We got another one coming, yeah. But we've released a lot this week, as is the case pretty much every month, frankly. Although it won't be the case next month, actually. Season 5 is coming out right before a new month. So next month, Patreon episodes could be coming out pretty
wow.
Normally.
You're right. it's going to be a normal week. That is crazy, or a normal month. We haven't had that in a year.
Yeah, so usually what happens is we do all of our Patreon episodes in the last like 2 weeks of the month, because that's usually when updates happen. So we got Season 4 Reloaded. We knew that was coming in late July. So what we always do in that case is we say, okay, well, we're going to save our Call of Duty Patreon episodes until the newest update, as late as we can, so that we could talk about the most relevant shit at the time, so you guys get the most value. The downside of that, of course, is that you don't get any bonus episodes really until the new update comes out. But the plus side of that is it's way more relevant than if we just always did like one bonus episode a week or something, which we could do, but it just wouldn't be good for you guys. And it wouldn't be good for us either. So anyway, with all of that said, this month, Season 4 Reloaded came late, and now that it's been out, we've finally been able to start getting all those Patreon episodes out, and we've done a lot in the last week. First of all, we did, and this is available for all patrons, an MW3 leaks overview ep. And that one was a fun one. We talked about a lot of the leaks that we're going to talk about today, and we talked a lot about more leaks that are way more substantive that we won't be talking about today. For some reason, the things we talked about on Patreon, I have just not seen doing the rounds on Twitter, which I guess is good for us because it makes the info more exclusive that we talked about on Patreon. But how their whole like rework of the perk system into like vests and boots and shit, that was a solid little episode, and it is also now live.
Yeah,
for all of our patrons for your convenience. But there were quite a few MW3 leaks, and that was that episode where we talked about a lot of those. I think we did announce this though, didn't we?
We did, yeah. We talked about this last Thursday or Saturday. Yeah,
I think it was Saturday. That's why I'm all tripped up.
Yeah, I think it's still just like too early for a lot of it to be making the rounds, as you said, because it's like specific. A lot of it is like multiplayer leaks, so we're still 4 months out from that. So I think people in general aren't making a big stink about the specifics yet. So it'll probably get a lot of traction in about a month or two though now.
Yeah,
and there'll be more coming out, of course.
Yeah. So anyway, the next Patreon episode that we released that we've definitely not talked about yet is ranked play thoughts overview review, and that one was a good one as well. We had some. That episode was the first time we've talked about ranked basically since it came out, so there was a lot of new ground to cover, and that is exactly what we did. And a lot of the thoughts and things we kind of talked about in that episode, I wouldn't say it was a brainstorm, but there were elements of that where we were like, I wonder what we should be doing or using or whatever. By the way, right after that episode, we played some ranked, and we were cooking with gas. We were not cooking on an electric stove. We piled up some wood,
used gas,
on the ground. And then that's not what people mean when they say cooking with gas. I don't know what it means, but it doesn't matter. We were cooking with it. That's all I know.
Probably propane.
We played quite a bit of ranked right after recording that episode, and I had a lot of fun, dude. Because one of the things we talked about in that episode is we are still seeing a lot of people use the signal. I would argue more now than probably ever. And so we started trying it. And I was trying it more than Tanner, but god damn it, it's fun. It has really rejuvenated my enthusiasm for ranked.
I think you kind of need one signal user on your squad. It was working out well, because that's why I wasn't doing it. I was kind of thinking we could do like two or three signals, but I don't know. You were using it, so then I tried using the Cronin, and we were doing well together. Like, who was playing with us at that point? Lag, I think. I think Lag was with us at that point.
But mostly Lag.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that was working out well because like the signal, we talked about that in the episode too. The signal can take like 4 shots to kill actually, because three will get them one shot at a certain range if you're hitting like limbs and stuff.
Up to like 4, yeah.
It could take 4 shots to kill someone. So it's nice to have someone sniping. Some dude can mount up with a Cronin, start ripping someone off headies, and I'm like pinging him. I'm like, Raz, shoot this guy. He's on a head glitch. Shoot him. I've already hit him a couple times, so I know if I got 2 hit markers on that guy's head,
exactly.
Raz gets a headshot on him, he's downed immediately. So it was working out well using that combination. Yeah. It is fun to use, but I was doing well with a Cronin yesterday, so I like didn't really use it at all.
Yeah.
But I think it is kind of necessary for at least one guy in your squad to have it.
Yeah, and it was a lot of fun. One thing we didn't mention, by the way, for all of our patrons is that we talked a little bit about how people are not using the default optic on the signal. They're instead using the Forge Tac Delta, or this is what we didn't mention, the Schlager night vision or whatever.
Night view, something like that, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. It's a thermal Schlager, basically, and it's not banned in ranked for some reason. It's not as good as a holotherm because people will light up, but they'll only light up within like 50 meters. And then if they're farther away than that, they won't light up anymore, which doesn't mean you can't see them or shoot them, but it's awkward, and I don't like how that works. And the holotherm doesn't work that way. I think
the holotherm does. No, because we had talked about that last time too.
Away then, because on Vondel, I've shot people way farther away than the night vision.
Because we had talked about that last time, and I remember someone saying that, like, no, it does have a damage cap, but I think it was like 100 meters or something. Because I remember picking one up after that, and like looking at people, I was like, oh yeah, it doesn't light up, but you have to be really far away. So if the Schlager one is 50, then the other one was probably a lot further because it was definitely more than 50, 100%.
Yeah. It was far enough away to where it didn't matter. But anyway, that's one thing I didn't mention is that was another optic worth trying, and that's what I ended up using yesterday, and I loved it. Yeah, it was great. It zoomed in less than the default optic, which can be bad in some cases, but it can be really good in other cases too. And it's also semi-auto, so if you're trying to this is kind of what we talked about on Patreon, if you're trying to land like multiple shots, the less zoomed in you are, the less visual recoil you have. So it was working out really well. And yeah, I agree with you. It was nice that you guys weren't sniping, because every time we were in like a team fight, I would only need to land like 1 shot and they'd be down. And if we were all using a signal, we like all would have had to have landed one, you know? So it was very cleanup crew type beat. And then there were occasions too when people were just on head glitches. And it's funny enough, exactly like he had said in that episode, people will just stand there and eat 2 headshots. It's just amazing. Like, we were fighting this team. I don't know where we were. We were on the bank of a river or something, but these guys were on a roof, and they're like looking at Tanner and Jake, and all I see is his head, and I shoot it, and then the guy moves, but he doesn't go prone. He just goes like left. And his head is still just as visible as it was the first time he got shot in the head. And he should know that, but he didn't. So thanks, I guess. I'll take that. And I just ripped his head again. And I was shocked and awed, but I was pleased as well, obviously. But it was really fun. And it's really reinvigorated my enthusiasm for ranked play. Everything I just said right now, we did not talk about in that Patreon episode. But what we did say... There were a lot of things we said, of course, but one of them was that we were going to try the signal, or specifically, I was going to try the signal quite a bit. And just for you patrons, I'll kind of update you on that. Yeah, it was really fun. It worked really well. But yeah, that was a good little episode. Pretty fucking long episode, too. And there was a lot of good stuff in there, because a lot's changed in ranked since we last played. So there was a lot of ground, as I said, to cover, you know?
Yep. Yeah.
So that was a good one. So anyway, that's live now for every single goddamn patron we have. And if you want to listen to it, you can always become a patron. You don't only get future bonus episodes, you get all the bonus episodes. So you can listen to any past episode.
Listen to our Verdansk tips on there, yeah.
You could. Yeah, you could. You could. If you're a COD mobile player, that'll be helpful. Yeah. So anyway, and then lastly, for our Platinum and Damascus patrons, we did do our, I don't know why I wrote Q&A here, excuse me. So fuck Platinum patrons. We did do our Q&A episode. I don't know when we did it though, but that's done. And I think we've announced it.
I think that's, God, I don't know. I think that's been done. We did that last week before.
Yeah, I was thinking of behind the scenes when I wrote this. Yeah. For our Damascus patrons, our behind the scenes episode is now live as well. We talked mainly about our new YouTube Shorts / TikTok endeavor, using the power of artificial intelligence to do the work for us, and how well that's been working, and then also the Discord growth and the kind of journey on that as well.
Yeah.
And as usual, you guys have been very keen on those behind the scenes episodes, and you guys quite liked this one as well. So that's
that one got some good feedback again. Yeah, that one we actually just put live five days ago, I guess. I think that came out Saturday before the Saturday pod.
Yes.
Yes.
So anyway, a lot of Patreon episodes are available, and then we got one more coming. It's going to be a Vondel brainstorm. I'm kind of pissed about that because I don't want to play Vondel. I want to go take heads and with the signal in ranked play. But you know what? I'll make a Vondel brainstorm for you guys anyway. That's what I'll do. So that if you're a Vondel main and a patron or a prospective patron, then keep your ears peeled for that one. That is coming up. And then another reminder for our Damascus patrons, once again, our hangout is tomorrow, Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. We will be doing customs for a portion of that time and be there. We got a lot of new Damascus patrons, so you can come meet everyone and then shoot my body. Or
Cocktails
Tanner's.
and customs, what I like to call it.
Yeah, cocks and customs.
Yeah, I'm going to start posting some cocktail recipes. I'm going to start pinning cocktail recipes like we pin gun builds. So if you guys want that, join the Discord, man. I'm going to start posting them in there. Because I make 3 cocktails a day, starting at 1 p.m. usually. Yeah, so if you guys want that, join up. You guys probably need it. You guys need the alcohol if you play this game, so.
Yeah, well, anyway. Yeah, Damascus Hangout Friday. I don't think we had any other announcements. If we did, get fucked. Join the Patreon, though. Patreon.com/thedropshot. Lag Show with the 2-month sub on kick.com/thedropshot podcast. Welcome, Lag. Welcome back. Very much appreciated. We get 95% of that, by the way. Shout out to Kick. Shout out to gambling. Fuck yeah, gambling. I fucking love gambling.
Any underage kids want to come gamble?
Stake.com, yeah. Anyways, welcome to the absolute broadcast. Let's see. All right, welcome, boys and girls. So, yeah, big ticket item, as I said, is going to be, of course, the roadmap for Season 5. However, we did get a patch for the current game on Monday, the 24th. And then there might have been one more, I think. No, there wasn't. Of course. Yeah, why would I think that? Okay, so Monday we got actually a pretty substantive patch. By the way, our dogshit Discord bot, I guess, just doesn't work.
Fuck Jaken.
Yeah,
for using that bot and me getting that idea from him, because it doesn't work. So I mean, we should actually just remove the channel. There were no other bots. I looked Call of Duty, I looked where there's no other options. It hasn't posted an update for 8 days. Yeah. And all it does is follow the COD Updates Twitter account basically.
Which did
and they've put out 2 updates
update.
since then, I think. Yeah. So that's cool, man. I mean, yeah, it's just yep. I'm pissed about it.
Anyway, unlike the COD bot, we will keep you updated insofar as we can. So Monday, July 24th, there was an update. A couple bug fixes. I refuse to read bug fixes now. They haven't been relevant. Maybe when a good dev studio takes over again, I'll read bug fixes again.
Yeah, we're done talking about bug fixes. I'm going to pick one at random to just point out how absurd they are. Fixed an issue where the player couldn't access division rewards in career and rewards in Warzone ranked play. Cool. Got it. I don't even know what that sentence means.
I don't know what that means, probably means you can't get to a screen in the UI. And also, what's a bug they haven't fixed? Being able to reconnect to the game in Warzone ranked play. If we're speaking about ranked play, right? Because that would be a pretty important bug to fix, but those aren't the bugs they fix. So yeah, from now on, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to read a random bug fix, and if it's at all relevant to anyone ever, then I'll read the whole list. And hey, spoiler alert, I'll never have to read the whole list ever, because they don't fix bugs that actually matter. So anyway, on to some interesting changes though. Warzone weapon balancing updates here. Lockman 556 nerfed a lot. Shit on, in fact. Shit on, pissed on, farted on, and gapped. It's not good.
And it already wasn't good before.
Yeah, and then they nerfed it more. So it's not good. It's not worth using. Stop using it. If you enjoyed that meta, then, I don't know, reminisce about those 3 days, because it's not here again for now. It might come back. Who knows? Nothing is out of the question for Infinity Ward. They could make Warzone ranked play Tonfas only. I'm not kidding. I don't know. That everything they do makes no sense. So maybe it'll come back. But for now, the Lockman 556 is completely and utterly chalked in Warzone. So anyway, the M4, which absolutely no goddamn person was using, was nerfed. So that's good. Because no one was using the M4 in Warzone, so let's change it at all. Let's nerf it. That's a good idea. TAC 56 headshot multiplier decreased. Okay. And then the Tempest Razorback was buffed. Minimum damage increased, which is the most important damage range for an AR. And then limb multipliers increased, which is also a fairly important stat for an AR. So some people were saying before we had like data mine stats that the Razorback might be in the mix now for Warzone. I don't think it's unusable like it used to be, but it's certainly not the best option in terms of your Warzone AR. Maybe as a sniper support, but even then there are better options, frankly. So the Razorback is not completely dog shit anymore. And a couple good things about it too, because before we got the numbers, I did give it a try. Very easy to control and also a very high fire rate. So that's kind of nice. It's very forgiving. It's got a 60 round mag. It reloads fast enough, and it has like no recoil. And the TTK is decent. It's not great. Nothing stands out. Doesn't have a crazy headshot multiplier, but it's not bad. It's a solid little gun. So why is this important for you? You should maybe be more inclined to use it as ground loot when you're looting around before, you get.
Yeah, I wonder how it's stacking up now. How's it looking?
I remember taking a look at it and being unimpressed. I don't remember why though.
It's the best at long range in terms of time to kill. Like say like 60 meters. Lockman 556 is like around 1300 milliseconds. Hemlock's 1200. Tempest is.
What about the Squall?
About 1050. Well, you're not putting them in the same category. It has way more recoil. These are more like guns for people that can't control recoil. That's why I compared those three. Okay. Yeah. So Tempest is if you were using the Lockman 556 before this nerf, you should probably switch to the Tempest Razorback and try using that. It kills way faster at the first damage range. Oh my god, Lockman 556 now first damage range 913 milliseconds is dog shit. Tempest
trash.
Is 790. So Tempest is better in almost every way, and it also has no recoil. So probably swap to that if you want a low recoil gun because you have trouble controlling TAC V or Cronin.
This is basically the new Kilo, meaning it has not the best time to kill, but it's very easy to use. And it's solid enough. So yeah, if you were a Lockman enjoyer or a Hemlock enjoyer, become a Razorback enjoyer. So anyways, speaking of the Squall, it was in full auto nerfed a lot. They didn't touch anything with semi-auto. One thing I never thought to try was how it is in semi-auto now, but it's probably dog shit because it was worse in semi-auto before this patch than in full auto.
Yeah, because they had already nerfed it. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, it was nerfed a lot in full auto, but it's still the best option for Warzone in terms of full auto guns. That's what everyone's using in World Series of Warzone. The time to kill reflects this. it's still killing faster than pretty much any other full auto gun. Unless we're counting some LMGs, probably. But, you know, if you don't want to run an LMG and put up with all those downsides, the Squall's going to be your go-to. Even
I like where it's at. I think they put it in a good spot because it is definitely not nearly as overpowering as it was before. So you got to track people longer, which does make it a lot harder when the gun has a little bit more recoil than the no recoil, you know, Lockman guns like that, Tempest. But yeah, like there are guns that kill a lot faster. You know what's the Lockman 762 is insane, but it does have quite a bit of recoil. Like to control that thing, frankly, you have to use all recoil attachments. The long range time to kill on that though is 575. That's according to J God's testing, like a realistic time to kill, 575. But that's it's just crazy. It's very, very hard to use. Yeah. It's borderline unusable. It has a lot of recoil and visual recoil. Like it has both. You know? It's really tough. Yeah. But it is, I guess it's a really good time to kill. Another downside of that too, though, that people should think about if they're tempted by that number, because that is an attractive number, 500 TTK. Is 40 round max mag size also. You don't want that, especially with how many bullets you're going to be missing. You have to reload after every single long range kill, if you even get one, because it's got, again, a ton of recoil. So I wouldn't even bother trying it, honestly, because in addition to that, very slow handling, which is going to be even slower because you're going to have to put recoil attachments on it. Not really worth running, frankly. Yeah. Maybe it could be interesting as a Ashika Vondel gun, like a close to mid-range gun that hits really hard, because that's going to kill. I mean, you're outgunning SMGs at close range too, by quite a bit.
If you can aim your gun in time, yeah,
if you can aim your gun in time,
which is going to take.
Oh, the other one we forgot about, HCR. That's actually like basically the same as the Tempest and all those, but just kills a lot faster too, because it's an LMG.
It is a little harder to use than a Tempest, but not much.
Is it? I haven't really used a Tempest. HCR does not really. It's very easy to use.
Yeah, it's pretty
I
fucking
haven't built
recoil.
a custom Tempest yet.
It's going to be a lot slower than a Tempest too, because Tempest handling is actually pretty nice. But the HCR is not bad at all. It's got the box mag, or the drum mag rather, so it's not like it's not a box mag, so it reloads quick. What else was I gonna say? If I was gonna ever try the AK, what is it called? 762 Lockman? Is it also called Lockman?
762? Yeah.
It's so dumb.
Kastov.
And that's what I said. If I was ever gonna try that, I think you're right. Like as a primary on a Sheikah, I think that would be that's where it would be most likely to be good, in my opinion. Because even Vondel, I feel like I'm shooting people that are too far away. Where I'd rather have a better recoil gun. But a Sheikah, like you're really not going to be shooting people very far ever. So, yeah. Anyway, a couple things to think about. The Basilisk fixed an issue with the Akimbo Snake Shot, where its damage profile was higher than intended. I don't know where this is at now, but I have not seen these once. So
it takes 8 shots now up close instead of before it was 4. So that's clicking the Akimbos, firing 4 times
and landing
to hit
all
them.
of them.
And you have to hit all 8 shots. So it is quite literally unusable. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's good. That's fine. It's a pistol. Nerf it to the ground.
It's probably that sounds over nerfed, but I'll take it. I don't really care. FTAC Siege max damage decreased. That's good. I'll take that as well. And then X13 Auto fixed an issue where its damage profile was higher than intended, and its max damage is also decreased. I don't know how good that is as well.
Now. It's like close range now. It's like over 900 milliseconds.
Oh, it's dog
like,
shit too.
I think it's around 900. And meta SMGs are right above 600, so it's miserable. Yeah.
Okay.
Which is unfortunate because we had talked about that too. I was saying it'd be nice if they made the time to kill worse than the SMGs, but that's a trade-off for, having a really high mobility pistol, something that's really good up close. Something where you can, change your perk package setup that way. That'd be nice, but instead they just I think they over nerfed it. It would have been good. It would have been cool if you could keep that in the meta, but they didn't at all. So it's back to the 2 meta SMGs, the ISO or the Lockman. That's about it.
Yeah. One upside of that, though, of course, is going to be fewer otters on Vondel. Far fewer otters. And that's good. So, anyway, moving on. A couple other changes here. The MX Guardian, the new full auto shotgun, was nerfed a lot. I think it's like complete and utter dog shit now. I haven't tried it since the nerf. But
yeah, I'm gonna check sim right now, actually, see how it's looking.
But it was max damage, close mid damage, mid far damage, and minimum damage decreased. So it does less damage at every single damage range it has. And, you know, it was not killing much faster than a broadside at any damage range before this. So kind of weird for them to nerf this and not the broadside, which is like the better gun anyway, the better shotgun anyway. It's pretty fucking weird, but whatever. F's in the chat for me.
It seems like it wasn't, the actual max damage wasn't nerfed, according to Sim. Sim is showing 560 up close. Wasn't that what it was before? That sounds familiar.
That sounds awfully
exactly
close.
The same.
Yeah.
560 up to 3 meters.
Well, Infinity
so
Ward
I think they may have just lied.
A surprise, yeah. So
yeah, that is seems exactly the same. But there is an extra damage drop off in there. Did they mention that?
No, of course they didn't. No.
What did they say about mid far? What did they say about that? Close mid.
They said distance damage decreased.
Maybe it already had this extra damage drop off then. I don't remember it though.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, so I think they just lied.
Nothing outside its first 2 ranges is relevant anyway. So yeah, anyway, whatever. I don't know.
Well, it's like 6 meters, yeah.
I'd rather use a broadside probably, but I'd rather use an SMG actually. So, speaking of SMGs, ISO. Fixed an ISO issue, causing its upper right leg damage to be lower than intended. So just a tiny little mini buff to the ISO 45. So it's still good, but I think there are better options now. I think the Lockman, the MP5 is now better in pretty much all respects than the ISO. So
yeah, it's better up close. ISO's better past like 9 meters, I think. But for me, it's just so much harder to use. The Lockman sub is like the easiest to use. You can hit shots to 20 meters without missing. It's pretty simple. ISO, you're missing more shots at 12 meters than a Lockman at 20. So I think that's the biggest downside. I don't like it that much. I don't like the bounce. I never really did, but you kind of just forced to run it because it was so much better than everything else.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So anyway, there you go. And then a couple attachment tuning changes. Dragon's Breath was nerfed for the broadside and the MX Guardian. Doesn't matter. And then more bug fixes that probably don't matter. Let's pick one at random. Here we go. Fixed an issue where equipping the semi-auto trigger on the MX Guardian shotgun will cause the range to reduce severely while fighting AI in DMZ. Wow.
Mother of God.
Wow. How much more niche and irrelevant of a bug fix could they have than that? I mean, that's one attachment on one gun in one mode, specifically against AI only. These are the bug fixes we get. Wait, hey, my loadout icon in ranked Warzone, by the way, is on my screen and there's no loadout there.
Yeah.
That's a bug. That's a day one bug that still has not been fixed. That affects everyone who plays Warzone or Resurgence, by the way. It's in all of them. But more importantly, they have fixed the bug when you have the semi-auto trigger on the MX Guardian and you're shooting AI in DMZ. You're now not going to have severely reduced range anymore.
Yeah.
Those are the bugs they fix, by the way.
And again, the only reason
there's a loadout icon on my screen and there's no box there, which has been in since day one and affects hundreds of thousands, maybe millions more players than this bug ever would have addressed.
Yeah. And the reason we see all of these DMZ bug fixes, of course, that's because Infinity Ward devs only play DMZ. Not a single Infinity Ward dev has launched Warzone since Season 1 Reloaded. So that's why they don't know about any of the bugs. No one has played it since. They're all on DMZ because they're dog shit and they have to fight bots. And they get killed, the bots. That's why they fixed this. Some dev was using the MX Guardian and he died to a basic bot. So then they spent hours looking into what the issue was and they figured it out. Yeah, but meanwhile, they can't even, the UI doesn't work in Warzone BR or in Resurgence ever.
Yeah.
So, cool.
Yeah. So thanks, Infinity Ward. Shout out to them. So anyway, that's it for that. Pretty impactful, frankly. The no more pistol meta, no more broken pistol meta. Also, what was the other big thing there? Pretty big weapon nerfs all around. So I would say that broadly speaking, the weapon balance right now is decent. I would maybe even say good. Not quite. I would say it's pretty good. But that's all going to change probably when Season 5 comes out also. So we'll see what happens. Good, yeah. And and we'll keep you posted.
I think like best primaries right now all around. Probably like the TAC V and Cronin if you can control the recoil on the harder hitting guns. And then outside of that, it's probably like HCR and Tempest, I would imagine. Some of the other LMGs like the Rawl, the Seiken, they have good theoretical time to kills, but they're too bulky, they're too slow, it takes forever to reload. Ultimately not worth running, but HCR actually is probably the best low recoil gun all around right now.
How does it compare to an RPK?
An HCR, the time to kill?
Yes.
Let's see.
Because they're both pretty. I mean, the HCR
they're exactly the same. They're basically exactly the same. Very similar.
Okay. Yeah.
HCR is a much higher headshot multiplier, which is interesting. HCR is a little bit better at range. They're similar all around. So HCR would for sure be the choice of those two, in my opinion.
Because HCR is way easier to control than an RPK. Yeah. So okay. Well, good to know. So anyway, that's it for that. And yeah, now on to the more interesting stuff. Season 5. So we've gotten a roadmap. We've also gotten a blog post. As is tradition, we will start by examining the absolute roadmap. So here we go. We got a little image. Season 5, August 2nd is when that comes out. Baldur's Gate 3 releases the next day, by the way. So
no one cares.
Everyone cares. And more people who listen to this right now will be playing Baldur's Gate than Call of Duty, actually. Okay, we'll see. Anyway.
I think 90% of people have never even heard of Baldur's Gate. I didn't know what it was till you mentioned it 2 days ago. So.
You're WILD for that. Anyway.
Well, you're a nerd, so.
That's not what we're here to talk about. Today, we're talking about this roadmap. So yeah, we got the roadmap on screen here. And again, as is tradition, we're going to go over all this stuff and then get into the blog post where we get more details. So, starting with MW2, multiplayer maps. Punta Mar is a 6v6 map. Strike is a 6v6 map. For those of you who are old as shit, that might sound familiar. That is a remake of the COD 4 map called Strike. And then in season, we're getting DRC Zone 1, which looks like it might actually just be a section of the labs the District 9 or whatever exclusion zone in DMZ. That's kind of what this looks like. I don't know if that's true. I don't care because Sixes is dead and it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that is. It's another
Sixes map we're getting in season. We're also getting 2 gunfight maps. On launch, Lounge and Canal. Canal looks so bad because there's water in a gunfight map. Holy shit. How toxic is that? How toxic is that going to be?
Yeah, okay.
That water is for sure playable.
It sounds so insane. So yeah, it probably is.
Yeah.
I can't believe that.
Yeah, so that's great.
That will not be good whatsoever. Lounge looks cool. That looks like the Damascus Lounge. Cozy in there.
Yeah, if you go to patreon.com/thedropshot and become a Damascus patron, you can find the real life gunfight map Lounge in our Discord. You can join it, the Damascus Lounge. Yeah. Anyway, I don't care about any of that. You know, I don't play gunfight. I don't play sixes. None of you do either. So moving on to modes in multiplayer, there's going to be gunfight variants. So that doesn't matter. It's going to be like blueprint gunfight, where all the loadouts are weapon blueprints, or it'll be like snipers only gunfight, which can be fun. Mainly fun for customs, frankly. I don't know if anyone plays gunfight online, but whatever. That's cool. We've seen it before. And then more interestingly, big capture the flag. So we'll probably have more details on that in the blog post when we get into it. But if I had to guess, it's going to be capture the flag, but with more than 6 people on each team. And that sounds,
I wonder
like
if it's almost like ground
fun.
war capture the flag. Yeah.
I'm curious if it's going to be on Sixes maps or ground war maps. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very interesting. So
Capture the Flag used to be such a fun game mode. Like BO4 Capture the Flag was dope.
That was a
with the
banger.
operator abilities
Yeah.
too, using Ruin to like catch up to people and then slam them. That was fun.
Yeah. BO4 Capture the Flag was a great time. Great little time.
Yeah.
Real toxic too. Real toxic. You know what was the best BO4 mode though? Was it called Escort? With the stupid fucking robot?
Well, don't call it the best.
Safeguard. God, that was fun. Depended on the map. Because, like, Safeguard on the map with the burning airplane or burning bus in the middle, terrible map for Safeguard. Awful.
You dropped to 60 frames in the middle of that map. Yeah. Remember that? That was never fixed.
That was never fixed. Yeah. But like on firing range, that was such a good Safeguard map because it started kind of open and then it went to like a choke and then it was just insane at the end. Anyway, that's not what we're getting here. So whatever. Big capture the flag. That'll be interesting. And then Havoc, which is evidently a new game mode. And there are some details on that we'll get into. So events, faction showdown. Don't know and don't care. A vehicle challenge event in season. I don't even know what that means.
That's
and
funny.
And then camo challenge event. And those are pretty cool. Some people in our community have been doing those for the little seasonal camos like the diabolical. I won't be because I have Orion, the mastery camo. I have Orion, by the way, so I'll never be doing those. And it doesn't matter because I have Orion and you don't. But those are pretty cool. They're pretty popular, and I'm a fan of them. And then we get into Warzone gameplay features. So we're getting a dirt bike. So that's cool. Won't matter, but
they should fix the handling on the vehicles they have it now before they add any more. I mean, they like float when you turn them. They're so fucking bad. So maybe do that first before adding more vehicles, but sick.
Is there an e-brake in the vehicles anymore?
God, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't use vehicles because they handle so poorly in this game.
Because in Warzone 1, there was an e-brake. On PC, it was spacebar.
Yeah.
And you could, like, take sharp turns with it. You know?
I don't think they're into this game, honestly.
Because when I press spacebar now, instead of e-braking, my character fucking climbs onto the roof. And it's gotten me killed once or twice, too. Don't love it. So I'm never going to want to climb on the roof of a vehicle outside of a campaign mission. So take that functionality out of ranked Warzone and give me my e-brake back. Thanks. But anyway, we're getting a dirt bike. Don't care. We're getting an MWIII in Warzone. So for those of you who don't know what the fuck that is, and I'm looking at a picture and I still don't know, it has 8 wheels and it's long. What is this? Do you know what an MWIII is?
I know what they are in real life. I've never seen one that looks anything similar to the image they're using. Yeah, the ones I've always seen, I think they've kind of started replacing in some aspects like the Humvee and shit like that with MWRAPs. They're really tall. They're heavily armored. They have mounted guns on the top. I think a lot of time it's like a mounted gun where this one doesn't have a mounted gun in this roadmap image, huh?
Importantly, I was going to say, yeah, I don't see a mounted gun here.
Yeah, unless it's like sitting real low on the top. Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know what this is. This does not at all look like any MWRAP I've ever seen.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's a new vehicle. One thing I can say about it is it looks like it can take a lot of damage. So
yeah.
So that'll be fun late game.
We'll
Everyone
be getting
driving
that
around
in
those.
Warzone, yeah. So if you enjoy playing solos on El Mazrah, enjoy it less and start practicing your Strela usage, because this is going to be fucking insane in solos if it's in. Because this thing is going to take a lot of bullets to destroy. And if it's parked at a gas station, you probably can't out-damage the repair time, ever. So you can just get a durable, sit in your MRAP at a pump, and just be fueling up while the whole lobby of solos is shooting at you and not doing damage to you, and then you win, smile. So anyway, we'll see. They might say more about it. If there's not a mounted gun on it, I don't really care though. So anyway, and then Vondel BR only Champions Quest. So the Champions Quest is the new contract for the uninitiated. No one talks about these anymore, ever. No one cares. I haven't seen anyone going for a nuke or talking about a nuke in Warzone in months, which is not surprising. Everyone who wanted to do it has done it by now and doesn't give a shit. So the only interesting thing here is that it's Vondel BR only. So maybe we will see some people actually trying to go for that. And there looks like there's a unique dog shit weapon camo as a reward for it. It is yellow and green. So anyway.
Oh, it goes into these vehicles in the blog post. MRAP does have a mounted gun on the top. Cool.
Oh, cool. Good. Yeah. So
yeah,
that'll be great. Anyway.
So they removed the giant helicopter with infinite armor, and now they've just put it in a vehicle form, which will probably be worse than the helicopter. So
yeah.
Good
I
stuff.
wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, the image in the blog post is just not even at all similar what they put in the...
Yeah, so we'll get into more details once we get into the actual blog post. But anyway, modes. Fort Resurgence in season and Armored Royale in season. I don't know what the fuck Fort Resurgence means. We'll probably get into it once we get into the post.
Yeah, we will.
Armored Royale, I can guess what that is. There was an LTM that is probably similar to this in Verdansk once upon a time, where like every team had like the crazy vehicle, and it was like Twisted Metal on Verdansk. That was like the game mode, which a lot of people had a lot of fun with. I never ended up trying it, but anyway, it's kind of goofy little thing. And then the COD 2023 reveal event is coming in season as well. We will definitely get more into that. For DMZ, we're getting disguises, battle revives, scuba gas masks, okay, a revive box, and new missions and urgents. So we'll talk a little bit about that. These all sound kind of weird. Disguise is almost certainly some kind of thing where you can just go into a black site and no one shoots you or something. I don't know what use that would be for you, but it's probably just so that AI doesn't shoot you. That's my guess, but we'll get into it.
Yeah.
And then weapons, operators, and more. So starting with the least relevant things here, we're getting some new operators, three of whom you may have heard of. Snoop Dogg. I don't know if you guys know who Snoop Dogg is, but if you speak English, you do, right? He's a rapper. He's getting an operator skin. Nicki Minaj as well, another rap hip-hop artist, getting an operator skin. There were rumors about Nicki Minaj and Snoop Dogg, I believe. So those were true. And then also 21 Savage as well. So we're getting three
Those were
rappers.
the two rumors, yeah. Snoop, I had heard, I think that was kind of a surprise one. It was always Nicki Minaj and 21 Savage, but we had Snoop Dogg in Warzone 1 too, so
Yeah.
maybe they saw it in the files and didn't think much of it.
Yeah, maybe. So either way, we're getting those. Some other operators don't care. And then weapons, new weapons. So on launch in the Battle Pass, we are getting the FR Avancer, and we'll talk more about that. And then the Karak 300, which is a sniper rifle. That's how they've designated it.
Yeah.
Doesn't exactly look like one, but we'll get into it. And then in season, we're getting an M13C assault rifle. This is fucking weird to me because we have an M13B in the game already. And this gun looks awfully similar, and it sounds awfully similar too, making me wonder why add it. Do we need an AR that's extremely similar to one we already have?
Yeah, what could that be?
Pretty
So I'm thinking maybe
odd.
just this judging. Well, it looks like it's a shorter barrel than the M13B. Trying to see what the
Yeah.
difference would be.
I mean, one
so maybe
thing
a
I
higher
might-
mobility one. Yeah, has a different stock on it too.
Yeah, C might stand
I
for
don't
like
know.
compact. I don't know. I have no idea. One thing I would think maybe would be like this uses 300 blackout rounds or only or something. But that's probably not it, because the M13 you can put, the M13B, the one we have, you already can use blackout rounds in it. So it's probably not that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. In whatever ways it's going to be different, it's probably not going to be different enough. But we'll talk about it in the blog post. And then we're getting a new handgun, and the silhouette looks like it looks like
1911.
any 1911 you've ever seen. Yeah. And then a new SMG, which looks like an MP5 SD
Yeah,
to me.
MP5 with the integrated suppressor.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the roadmap. So we're going to get into more details here in a second, but based on the image, Tanner, how excited are you on a scale of 1
A lot
to
of
10?
content. A lot of content, but we really haven't been lacking that last few seasons. We've been lacking bug fixes and changes to the game. So content has never been primary issue with this game for the last 2 or 3 seasons. So getting a lot of that, which will introduce more bugs, I'm sure. So that'll be cool. But if you're into new content, this is going to be it. And did you even mention the COD reveal on here, or did you not even mention
Yeah, I
that
did,
part?
but we're going to talk more about it. So
Yeah. Yeah. Sounds like DMZ is getting a lot of love. So hopefully
DMZ
they don't
getting
lack
that
other
attention.
places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway.
And there's Black Cell's back again, of course. So Black Cell will never go away. You guys buy it too much. So good job. You guys actually just made the price of battle passes rise because you all bought them for fucking $40 or whatever they cost. So thanks.
Yep.
Really appreciate that. It's crazy that people buy Black Cell twice, and that's the price. That's the same price as paying for the game. And everyone complained when the game came out because it was raised $10 or whatever. And now they're spending the same amount for 2 operators. So you
record
guys
numbers.
are fucking dumb. Just know if you bought Black Cell, you're fucking stupid.
And you owe us the equivalent amount of money.
And this one will sell like crazy because he has like his fucking military dog strapped to him as well. So it'll be the best selling one of all time, and it's your fault.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
And don't forget, if you buy Black Cell, you owe us $30. And then if you wait a week after you buy Black Cell to pay us, you owe us $35. And that continues every week. Some of you still owe us money. And that interest is accruing. Some of you owe us like $60 because you bought the first Black Cell and haven't paid us yet. And those $5 weeks add up. So get on it. Thedropshot.com, press donate. Now, hurry up. Don't buy Black Cell. And if you do, you owe us money. So anyway, on to the actual blog post. This is the roadmap was attached to this, but we get a lot more details here. This was released today. And before we get into this real quick, I Love Cope with the 4 months on kick.com, and Boogie Boogie 4321 also with the 4 months. Resubscribing on kick.com. Thank you guys. Kick.com/the Dropshot podcast. We get 95% of your sub money there, so it's very nice to sub there, and we appreciate that. I Love Cope, which I think is H, and Boogie Boogie. Thank you, boys. Much appreciated. All right, here we go. Let's get into this. So there's a lot of dog shit. Big preamble that I don't care to read. A launch
If you're in the
trailer.
lore, there's a lot of shit going on, but we don't care, so you can read it yourself.
Yeah, Graves, I guess there was like speculation he didn't actually die at the end of the campaign. I don't know who this is. And
Spoiler alert.
okay, and delete your character. And yeah, I guess he's alive. So cool. Anyway, there was also a season 5 launch trailer. I watched it. It looks cool, but it didn't. I mean, it doesn't matter. The game always looks really good in the cinematics, and that's no different here. But it didn't like show anything that I noticed that was interesting.
There was one really interesting thing about it, and I don't know if they ever talk about it in the blog post. I don't think they did. They're basically hinting at like time changes in the game, like not like a different weather pattern, but it's like it said something specific in the trailer where it's like darkness is coming, or it said some dumb shit like that, and it showed like the guy looking up to the sky and clouds would be coming over, and then it showed some other images of like Vondel and shit, which there was one screenshot here where it's at nighttime or it's darker. So I think maybe I've seen no one talking about this, interestingly enough. We get some sort of like different time changes at random, like how we have fog and Vondel. Maybe one match will be at dusk or something, because that was shown in the trailer a lot. Like that seemed to be the entire premise of the trailer, but I've seen no one talking about that. Like there's definitely, I think there's one screenshot in here. We'll get to it later on and I'll point it out.
Okay.
But yeah, so I think something like that may be coming. And that was like, some of the leakers had talked about that a season or two ago, that they thought like night maps were coming as well. And there's something in the files to do with that. So hopefully we see that, because that would be a cool little change of pace, I think. That could be interesting.
Yeah, it could be.
I mean, that's better than fog every single time.
It's for sure better than fog. And interestingly enough, I think every night mode in Warzone has been better visibility than the day modes. In Warzone,
the only one that wasn't was Rebirth. That one Rebirth mode they had towards the end, it was during Caldera, I think. It was some mode on Rebirth where it was like nighttime, like midnight or something, and it was so fucking dark. It was very, very dark. That one was actually unplayable. I remember us talking about it because we played it one time. We're like, I don't know how people are playing this. It's so black you can't see anything. That one was dog shit, but other ones they've done really well.
Yeah. So we'll get more into that. We have more details on that. So, but anyway, back to the blog post here. Expect patch notes from Infinity Ward. I won't be expecting patch notes from Infinity Ward. And then, yeah, they say more shit. So here's what you need to know. Overview. So we're getting a lot of shit here. Blah, blah, blah. So yeah, 4 new maps at launch, 2 core, 2 gunfight, and 1 core map, mid-season. So yeah, here's one of the 6's maps. Looks interesting. Looks like it could be actually quite fun. I wonder how many of these buildings you can get into, because a lot of them it looks like you cannot get into. But also, this second floor looks accessible here. But that's like kind of it, actually. So this could be a pretty fun map. But I don't know. It's 6's. So anyway, this is Strike. Once again, COD 4 remake map. This is it, and it's coming. Cool. Lounge, the gunfight map. Got some knocked over bar stools here. Again, don't care. Don't play gunfight. But I would eat here. I would eat dinner at this lounge.
What would you order?
This place looks... I'm seeing dragons. Looks like a sushi place to me, frankly. Although there is a piano. They don't usually play...
Dragons. You're seeing dragons, huh?
The little... in the middle there. In that little case. That's like a 2-headed dragon, right? Maybe it's a Chinese food place.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I could see. Oh, nice little bar in the back left.
Some KPC, some Kung Pao chicken.
Yeah. I don't. This may be an apps only place, a little appetizer and drink place. I'll be honest with you.
It does kind of look like that. Yeah. These are not dining chairs. These are appetizer chairs. Yeah, that's a good point. Very expensive cocktails and some good apps. I'd eat here. Anyway, I wouldn't play gunfight here though, because I don't play gunfight in this game.
Looks like a good gunfight map though, actually.
Yeah, it actually does, to be honest. Because this cover at mid, these chairs are short as fuck, so you can take cover behind them by going prone, but they don't look like very head glitchable. I mean, I guess you could get right behind a chair and crouch, but you have to cover a lot of open space to get to that point. So anyway, and then Canal, a gunfight map. I mean, it looks fucking awful. And
Water's
I would
playable.
never
They
play
point
it.
that out. Yeah.
And
Where
let me
the
be
water
clear,
or
this
boat
will
are
be
useful.
the worst gunfight map I've ever seen. That's ever been in the game, and it's only because there's water that you can get into.
It's possible. Yeah.
I mean, what are we doing? Every gunfight map is going to be both people diving in the water and like whoever has to come up for air first or something, I don't know, it's gonna be so bad. So anyway, don't care. DRC Zone 1, this is gonna be another Sixes map that's coming mid-season. It is from Building 21, yeah. So I guess this is like a subsection rather, of the Building 21 exclusion zone that's in DMZ. They're just gonna make that into a Sixes map. Could be good, could not be, don't know, but there you go. And then some of the new modes, one of which is Havoc. So I mentioned this in the roadmap. Here is what this is going to be. A brand new core multiplayer mode inspired by classic arena shooter gameplay. So arena shooters are like Halo, for example, I think. And Quake. These are arena shooters. Then further enhanced with the injection of a random selection of frenzy-inducing modifiers. And if Call of Duty doesn't love anything, it loves random fury-inducing modifiers. Randomness. Yeah. So anyway. IDub specifically designed this as a roguelike mode, where each time a game is played, you receive enhancement modifiers that changes the gameplay in new and interesting ways. Don't expect two games to play out identically, but expect a whole lot of fast-paced combat with the emphasis on entertaining takedowns. The match starts like TDM, however, you don't have perk packages, kill streaks, or field upgrades. They don't exist in Havoc. Instead, prepare to embrace the match-changing modifiers. Once a squad is the first to reach a multiple of 12 kills, 12, 24, 36, and so on, the game adds a new modifier to the match for both teams from a pool of 14 available modifiers. Here are some examples. Ammo feeder. Auto reloads a weapon upon elimination from your stock ammo. Okay, so if you get a kill and you only have 5 rounds left in your mag, you'll go right back to 60 or whatever your mag is using.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Boots off the ground. Moon gravity. Affects only player jump heights, not thrown equipment or ballistics. Okay. Flame shot. Flame-tipped crossbows and Molotovs only. Can you imagine you're dumping some kid full auto, you're about to get a quad feed, and then the other team has gotten the 12th kill, so all of a sudden you don't have a gun anymore, and it's a fucking Molotov or a flame-tipped crossbow?
Yeah, that one's
I mean,
not
chaotic
great.
is one way to describe this, sure. Hero landing. Landing from a big drop causes a frag grenade-like explosion around you, and perspective shift. Everyone swaps to a third-person camera view. Okay. Yeah. So they say more about it. I'm done reading. I get the gist of it. It's a very goofy, fun, jolly good time game mode. This actually does sound fun for like a hangout. I would play the fuck out of this at our like little social gatherings. This is obviously not a game mode that's meant to be taken seriously, but if you want to fuck around with your friends, or you have terrible real life friends that you don't want to like sync your rating in Warzone or multiplayer with, you can suggest to them that they play this instead. You'll all have fun, and then you can keep your platinum rank and, you know, CDL mode or whatever. It sounds cute. I don't know.
I
Sounds
saw
like it
some
took a lot of development time too, by the way, which could have been spent better elsewhere. But anyway,
all the time they spent on this mode, they could have fixed every issue with Warzone, all the bugs. Yeah, but I saw some leaked gameplay from, I think Bob Network posted it. It looks fun actually. Yeah, but it's multiplayer, so realistically, I probably won't even try it if I'm being honest. It sounds fun, but I'm not playing multiplayer to play it. Great. Good comms though with the customs. That would be very fun for that. So maybe if we end up doing customs in like 2-3 weeks or something, we could try that if that's still in core multiplayer mode. So it should be in customs. I almost want to delay
customs for next month. I guess we could just do it again, but
yeah. We'll see what there are, but there is.
Yeah. So anyway, that actually sounds kind of fun. But yeah, big capture the flag. Okay, so it does look like it takes place in ground war maps. Yeah, the battle maps are ready for some capture the flag in season 5. 20v20 on ground war maps, and it's capture the flag. Okay. I mean, the ground war maps are so bad. I don't know if capture the flag being a mode is going to change that frankly. Imagine if you played big game capture the flag at like said city. That would be so dog shit. Every single rooftop, there's 8 enemies on, and they know where you are. You're never moving your character. Like, it sounds unplayable.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one.
However, I feel like on Turok, capture the flag could be fun in Ground War, on the Turok Ground War map. Because there are not that many like buildings that people are going to be ratting in, and it's fairly open too. So it'll still be dangerous, obviously, but like that could be a lot more fun. But like some of the Ground War maps, said city, miserable dog shit trash. Seraph Bay, see ya. I'm not trying capture the flag on fucking Seraph Bay for exactly the same reason as said city. 1 billion rooms, 1 billion levels, 1 billion rooftops that anyone at any time could and will be at. Just fucking your ass, and you're gonna have a big flag icon if you have the flag. No one will ever capture a flag on said city or Seraph Bay. You can play 3,000 matches and not one flag will ever be captured. All of them will go to overtime, and I don't know how it gets resolved because no one's gonna capture a flag unless there's a massive coordinated DDoS attack on the enemy team. It's not possible. So cool though, cool. And let me reiterate. Ground War is unplayable in this game strictly because of how bad the maps are. Strictly and solely and only because of how bad the maps are.
Yeah, that's the reason.
So, cool. So yeah, big game capture the flag. Could have been fun, but it's not because Infinity Ward made the maps. So, cool. Moving on. Gunfight variants, including armored gunfight. That's kind of cool. So yeah, there's going to be gunfight with plates, with snipers, like I said. Custom. Oh, that's cool. Standard gunfight, but the weaponry you bring is taken from your favorite loadouts. So you set your favorite loadout, and then you queue for this gunfight customs mode, and then you're using your 2 favorite guns versus someone else's 2 favorite guns. That's cute. That's actually a good idea. I don't know why they didn't do that earlier, but it never occurred to me to do this either. So I like that idea. That's fun. And then armored gunfight, yeah, where there will actually be plates. So those actually all sound fun. Those are good little ideas. So anyway, face off 4v4 mid-season. What is this?
A mode. It's like this. It's 4v4 on
mode.
Gunfight. Yeah, it's 4v4 on Gunfight. Yeah, that's what they had in MW19.
On
They've
Gunfight,
had it in this game.
but there is respawn. So yeah.
Didn't we already have Face Off? Maybe it was like 3v3 or something. But I'm almost positive Face Off is in the game right now.
I just don't remember what it was, what the details were.
Well, it's just, because it's weird they put it here, but they say 4v4, so maybe it was 3s. I don't know.
Anyway, moving on. Warzone overview. Okay, so they say some things. The Vondel Champions quest. Actually, the camo looks really dope when you look at it up close. I take it back. It looks like actually radioactive. Yeah, that's cool looking. Doesn't matter, won't get it. But anyway. So they're having in Vondel BR, you can do a new contract once Season 5 comes out. There are more elements to capture as part of that Champions quest. I'm not reading these. None of you are going to get a nuke on Vondel, so it doesn't matter. But it exists, so there you go. You can, and if you're a super sweat, then you've already read the roadmap anyway, and you don't need us to tell you about it. So that's that. New vehicles, MRAP and dirt bike. So first the MRAP. So yeah, here's a better picture of the MRAP where you can very clearly see there is in fact a mounted gun on it. It's right up front. It looks, frankly, I'm actually not that worried about it because you are so exposed if you're on that sucker that you are not going to want to be on it at all. Again, with the exception of solos. I think this would be miserable in solos because you could just seat swap to that gun, fuck one kid up, seat swap back. In fact, when the Berthas with turrets were introduced on Caldera, remember a game of like trios where me, L, and whoever else we were playing with, we all like ran to a Bertha, and then we had that person drive to another Bertha, and then that person drive to a third one. And we all just went and did our own thing and just seat swapped on everybody in the whole lobby. And we had a ton of kills and won the game by doing this. Now, the MRAP's going to be way less maneuverable than the Bertha was from Caldera. And I'm not that worried about it. But anyway, they're adding it into the game, and it does have a mounted gun. Don't love it. MRAP stands for Mine Resistant Ambush Protected, by the way. So now you know what MRAP means, which I, of course, knew before I read that. It's about the same size and shape as a cargo truck. And it's not going to appear often according to the blog post. But again, Infinity Ward just lies. You know what else they said would not appear often? Fog on Vondel. They lied, right? So expect to see more MRAPs than you currently see electric vehicles in Al Mazrah. Actually, you will see more of them than electric vehicles because Infinity Ward tells lies, and this is probably one of them. But yeah, whatever. It's
so it says
game.
Additional
really
armor plating and turrets. What if there's a turret on the back too?
It's
kind of looks
possible.
like there may be because there's some weird plating there on the back.
Yeah, it's super possible it has.
No, what's weird too
it.
is this front gun looks like not a mounted gun you sit on. It looks like a like what they call, I think, crows, where there's a guy sitting in the back seat on the turret up top on a screen, basically turning it. I wonder if it's going to be something ridiculous like that.
I will stop playing this
tank.
game
So you're inside.
Once. Yeah.
So you're inside, but you're controlling it that way. And by the way, you're right with the spawns. First, it'll spawn more than they're saying. And that doesn't matter, because if it's that good and there are 4 of them on the map, guess what's going to happen when there are 20 people left in the game? There will be 4 of these vehicles. So technically, it'll feel like there are more of them around the map than
also
regular
true.
cars, because people don't use regular cars. But if they're that good, everyone's going to be using them. So even if it spawns 2 of them, you're going to see them both late game. If they're that good.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what's dumb about adding shit like this.
And if they're that tanky too, they'll survive that long. Plus, there are now gas stations where you can repair vehicles. So people will definitely keep these up if they're good. Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. And keep in mind, by the way, when we had a similarly oppressive vehicle, the Big Bird, the heavy helicopter or whatever, that thing was insanely overpowered in Warzone for like 6 weeks before they took it out. So if this thing is in fact disgusting, expect to have to put up with it for weeks and weeks and weeks before it either gets removed or nerfed, because Infinity Ward is a dogshit trash development company, and every dev that works there should delete their characters. So just keep that in mind.
Oh, this is coming mid-season too, it says here.
Yeah.
Available at the start of a mode coming out at mid-season. Wait. Why? That almost makes it sound like it's only for Armored Royale. Available at the start of a mode coming out at mid-season. I don't know what this means. It may or may not be in regular BR. It'll be in ranked for sure.
Well, at the top it says 2 familiar vehicles are here across Call of Duty Warzone maps. So that implies that it'll at least be on all maps. So it's probably not Armored Royale only, unless there's going to be a Sheikah Armored Royale, which I doubt. So yeah, it's going to be a normal ass vehicle they add. Unless the patch notes, the roadmap is wildly unclear, which again is possible because Infinity Ward is a dogshit trash development company, and all of the devs are miserable at their jobs. And everyone who works there, in fact. Not merely the devs. Of course the devs are terrible at their jobs, but whoever wrote this, also terrible at their job. Whoever hired the person who wrote this, also terrible at their job. Whoever owns the company that put the person in charge of hiring for whoever wrote this, also terrible at their job. All of them. No one is beyond reproach at Infinity Ward. They're all fucking terrible. So who knows what it means? Yeah, no one knows. We'll see, I guess. But anyway, hopefully it's not insanely overpowered. So it probably will be. There's going to be a dirt bike. This won't matter. I don't care. DMZ, the conflict intensifies. Yeah, a lot on DMZ here. So there's some more lore here. Not reading that. And then we're getting some features. Disguise field upgrade. Launch window is when it's coming out. What does that mean? Great question. Don't know. Unclear because it was written by Infinity Ward. Built for pure stealth engagements, the disguise field upgrade allows you to appear as a member. It makes you look like AI. Equip the disguise, and DMZ combatants of the same faction will not attack unless you blow your cover and act aggressively towards them.
Oh, man.
So is there a disguise for like Shadow Company and then a different one for like Coney Company? Because it's talking about factions.
Equip the disguise and DMZ combatants of the same faction. Yeah, must be. Dude, that is funny. Wait, you could grief players this way.
Oh,
if
yeah.
you like hang out with AI and just stand there and then people start attacking them. Oh, that'll be funny.
Yeah. Yeah, put a black camo on your gun instead of Orion, which I have, by the way, and then like get a little disguise. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there could be some good TikTok content with this. But anyway, yeah, it's kind of cute, I guess. Battle Revive in the launch window. It's a stimulant offering an adrenaline rush as you complete a self-revive. A self-revive mixed with Battle Rage. After using it to get up from last stand, it immediately activates Battle Rage's effects, allowing you to heal more quickly. Attack sprints also constantly refresh for a short period of time. So basically, it's a self-res that also gives you Battle Rage once you finish the self-res. This is what they spend their development time on, by the way. And the loadout icon is still broken in ranked Warzone. So,
by the way,
cool.
after using it to get it from last stand, it immediately activates Battle Rage's effect, allowing you to heal more quickly. You already heal quickly. You self-res and you're full health in under a second.
Yeah, but Infinity Ward doesn't know that because they don't play their own game.
That's what's dumb about self-res is you watch someone self and they're full health and you are not because you've been fighting their teammate. So then he just kills you because he's immediately full health. So yeah, they actually just don't know that.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah, of course they don't. That's
It regens the second you're up.
Yeah, it's like bugged right now. Yeah. There's a hidden patch note for you guys. If you see someone who just self-res, this isn't Warzone 1 where they're one shot, they're 150 health, so that's good. Sick game, though. But don't worry, the MX Guardian in semi-auto against AI in DMZ specifically, the range has been fixed on that. So when you down someone and then they self and you watch them do it and then you start shooting them and they fucking kill you because their health is bugged and it's immediately 150, don't get frustrated by that. Instead think, well, at least I can use the MX Guardian and semi-auto against AI in DMZ only and my range won't be severely reduced. You can take solace knowing that when a much more impactful, important bug causes you to lose 100 SR.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
I don't even think it's bugged.
Company.
I think they just intend to have it that way. But so that's what's funny about them writing this is it already regens immediately when you're up. You see it and it goes up fast. So they just don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, that no one knows, including Infinity Ward. So anyway,
the old classic Warzone 2
is also
bugger
coming
feature.
to DMZ in launch window. Much like an armor box, this field upgrade holds multiple selves. Oh, okay. That's kind of cool for DMZ. You can find a box that gives everyone a self. And then Scuba Gas Mask. I'm not reading it. I can guess what that does. Call of Duty 2023 reveal event. All right, so we got a screenshot here of Observatory. And this is a dope looking screenshot for a reveal event. It is a overhead view of Observatory, Zaya Observatory, which is a POI on Al Mazrah. And there's like clouds in the sky, and there also is a firestorm, basically. There's a lot of ash. Looks like there's a volcano eruption off screen. I don't know. Could have just been an explosion off screen. But there are like sparks and dust and dirt flying around everywhere. It looks Pompeian.
It looks gorgeous, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, looks very pretty. So here's what they say about it. Drop into Warzone to experience the worldwide reveal for COD 2023 in a limited time event. Join the ranks of Shadow Company to take on Coney forces and secure the chemical weapon threat before it's too late. Stay tuned to Call of Duty channels for more details about the reveal. So, despite the fact that they say drop into Warzone, sounds like they mean drop into DMZ, which I guess is like a subset of Warzone. Again, they couldn't be less clear.
They call it Warzone, yeah.
But yeah, that'll be a cool little LTM, and it's happening at some point in season 5. So that'll be exciting.
Yeah, what is it?
I wish we had more details on it, but that's
it's
all
probably
they say.
just. So I feel like the leaker said DMZ because it has something to do with like Shadow Company and Coney forces like this. But it's obviously just going to be its own playlist. So it's probably like, it's just not BR, but it's not DMZ either. It's just like some weird playlist you queue for the reveal.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter.
Looks cool though.
Way,
so the sky looks really dope.
Yeah.
I hope something like that is actually in the game because that would be really cool.
Oh, like outside the LTM, you mean?
I don't think it would be though. I feel like this is just for the LTM. It looks cool. A lot going on there.
If it didn't impact the visibility or performance, I would say yeah, that does look cool. But I don't know. I don't know how much faith I have in iDub to do that. But anyway, either way, yeah. That's it for details on the reveal event. We might have learned more from leakers or something. We'll get into it, but I don't think we did. So anyway, moving on. Fort Resurgence and Armored Royale are also coming in season. So yeah, Armored Royale, reinforce your squad in this BR with a big difference. You're dropping onto your own MWRAP, and it's up to you to use, fortify, and repair. So yeah, it's just like the LTM we had once upon a time in Verdansk. I will not be playing it. By the way, they refer to the MWRAP and its turret, singular, in this paragraph.
Okay, so here they say turret, the other one they say turrets. Yeah. Okay.
So it may or may not have multiple turrets.
They haven't tested it. Some guy coded it in and designed it, but no one actually tested it, so they're not really sure. They're kind of just guessing.
And he forgot how many guns he put on it, so they just kind of wanted to cover all their bases. Yeah. So that's good. Nice. So there may or may not be 2 turrets on it. That's
mobile buy stations. That's cool.
Yeah, I think the mobile buy station and the upgrade and shit, I think those are actually specific to this mode.
Yeah,
because that's how it was in the Verdansk Armored Royale. So anyway, I don't care. And then let's see. Yeah, Fort Resurgence is going to be coming during Season 5. A slice of Al Mazrah, specifically the Al Bagra Fortress and its greater surroundings. Bagra Fortress. Okay. Not a very popular area on Maz at all. Kind of in the corner of the map. Yeah. And it's not terrible fighting there. It's not great either. It's okay. Anyway, that's going to be where it takes place. Will be added to the Resurgence map rotation in Season 5. Oh!
Yeah, so we're going to have 3 rotating Resurgence maps.
Oh! I thought this was going to be its own LTM, but we're just getting a new Resurgence map.
Yeah.
Oh, this is way more important than I thought. Okay. No matter how you spend time in Maz across Warzone, this map will slot in alongside Ashika and Vondel for Resurgence rotation playlists. Wow. Did you know this?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
I don't like it, especially if they add more rotation playlists. Here's what I want to play in Resurgence. Vondel quads. That's it. Nothing else.
Right.
So it sucks that this is going to be rotating probably, and there will be weeks at a time where you have to queue for rotation quads only. And so I'm forced to play this in Ashika when I just don't want to. So that is unfortunate. This is not a good place to fight at all. So the issue with the thing is the roofs here. And I know what people are probably already thinking. Well, Vondel is covered in roofs too. True. But Vondel, some guys on the roof, you can push up the stairs and push them. It may not be the easiest gunfight to win, but you can easily push that. This is just like you're running out in the open. Some guys start shooting me from above. 1, there's no cover to go anywhere. 2, it's not like I can just start running up a staircase to push to him. It's like you'd have to go some weird roundabout way, take a rappel up to him. It's just trash. Like that type of fighting is actually shit. That's how Vondel looked, and then it ended up playing okay, I think, because of the way you can push buildings. But this, I think, will be really, really, really terrible. But we'll see. Maybe there's enough roof, honestly, like the size of the roofs to be like that's where most people will actually fight and the ground won't even matter that much. I don't know.
I'm also wondering, so I pulled up a screenshot of a picture rather of the entire map of Al Mazrah. So here's the BR map. This is Al Bagra Fortress down here. So I'm going to zoom in on this for you all. This is where the new Resurgence map is. It's going to be at Fortress and the greater surrounding areas. So my first question is, what the fuck does that mean? Because the fortress itself is on quite literally an island. So does the greater surrounding areas mean the entire island and the water surrounding it? Or does it also include some of the land beyond the island? So for example, is any of this here going to be playable? Is that stupid island at Seraph Bay going to be playable? Or is it going to be the map and a bunch of water surrounding it, like Ashika Island is? I don't know what to think because they wrote the greater surrounding area. If it was going to take place in the fortress and there's going to be water around it that's playable, you would think they would say it's going to be Al Bagra Fortress and that's it. They wouldn't mention greater surrounding area. But then the question is, what the fuck does greater surrounding area mean? Because there's nothing besides water around it. Really, once you get to land, there's like nothing there. It's just more coastline.
I think they're literally calling Al Bagra Fortress the literal fortress at the POI. So probably the Resurgence map is the entire island.
Plus the water surrounding it.
I mean, I guess if it's just on the outside like that, it's not like I don't think many people will use it.
Yeah, like
at least not until the match ends there. It'll be... Yeah, it'll be like Ashika, but less because there's also no like rivers going through the middle of it or canals.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So it won't be at all usable, or I mean, no one will use the water until there is a circle that lands just in or finishes just in the water, which will happen when they launch this map. Yeah,
I think you're probably right.
So maybe it won't be that bad actually, because I was kind of thinking it was just the little fortress area. But yeah, since it's the whole island.
At a minimum,
it won't be
it's
as
the whole
miserable
island for sure. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think you're right, by the way. I think I'm thinking of fortress as the POI, but when they say fortress and greater surrounding area, they mean the building, the fortress, literal fortress, and its surrounding area, meaning the rest of the entire island, which is the POI. So yeah, it's probably the island, and then some of this water is going to be playable as well. Okay, I don't know. I don't know what to think of it. I'm going to have to play it. Frankly, I haven't been to Fortress enough on Moz to have any semblance, any inkling of what that's going to play like for Resurgence. I'm inclined to think, and my opinion is absolutely subject to change on this, I'm inclined to think it's going to be better than Ashika Island because there's no castle here, but worse than Vondel because it's not as good as Vondel. It's smaller and getting up to the rooftops is like a real bitch. Yeah,
I think it'll be
my guess. It's gonna.
I think it'll be the worst of the three.
You think it'll be worse than Ashika?
I think so. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, because like Castle, you can hopefully avoid unless it ends there. I feel like the way this little island is, Fortress is like most of it. And people, if you're below Fortress, actually, you're just fucked because people can be up on those walls shooting down at you from really far away, really high up. You will never be able to kill them. There's no way of getting up there. The entire Resurgence map will have one balloon. So I think it'll be the worst one. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you totally could be right. I don't know. So that'll be interesting. We'll see how that goes. But anyway, that's
hopefully it's good. That'd be dope if we have another fun Resurgence map, but
I think it's possible that it will be fun. I actually don't know because I just have not played around at Fortress enough. And another thing too is like irrespective of the locale itself, how well the map plays is going to depend also on how many balloons there are and how many buy stations there are and whether they're static or not and what the ground loot is like. Are there going to be favorite supply boxes like Vondel? Or will there not be favorite supply boxes like Ashika? Will there be redeploy flares like Vondel? Or will there not be redeploy flares like Ashika? I don't know. These are also going to contribute to how good or bad the map plays. Is there going to be an occupation scan event like Vondel, or not an occupation scan event like Ashika? We don't know. So that's going to also play into it. But obviously the most important factor is going to be the map itself. We'll keep you guys posted. So anyway, moving on here. General overview is the next little section. Yeah, nothing interesting here. Faction Showdown LTM launch window. Some challenges. I don't know. None of this matters. Vehicle and camo challenge events will be coming in season. Those will be cool. I have Orion, so I won't be going for them, but we'll talk about them. I like that they do seasonal camo challenges. I think that's really cool, even though I don't do them myself. So anyway, Shadow Company takes over Black Cell. I'm not reading it on principle. Don't buy Black Cell, and if you do, you owe us 30 United States dollars, and then an extra $5 for every week you haven't paid us after you've bought Black Cell, so don't forget about that. TheDropshot.com, press the donate button. 2 new weapons at launch, and then 4 new ones during the season. So the first one is the FR Avancer. It's an AR at launch in the Battle Pass. I don't know what this looks like.
It's a FAMAS.
This is a FAMAS?
It's a FAMAS, FFAR, whatever. It's the same shit.
Huh.
I think it's probably closer to an FFAR from Warzone 1.
Okay. So yeah, that's coming back. Little gun here. It's got a little look to it, you know.
Yeah, it is FFAR, not FAMAS. It's the same thing. I think FFAR is just kind of like a newer variant, basically.
Yeah, so here's the description. With a blinding fire rate and exceptional maneuverability, in the right hands, this aggressive bullpup rifle can dominate the battlefield. And I'm a big fan of bullpups. Yeah, everyone loved the FFAR, or most people did. It was really good for a long time in a lot of different eras of Warzone 1. First, it was the strafe machine, and then it was the best SMG in the game. Or those were probably at the same time. And then it was also like the best, just primary.
It was everything. It was the best. It had the best strafe speed. It was the best SMG, and it was the best long range gun. I think that was all at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was
pretty crazy. Yeah. And then remember, they just couldn't figure out how to nerf it. So they basically... The aim walking speed was nerfed by like 90%, and then the ADS speed was like quadrupled. That's how they finally nerfed it. They made it so slow. They just could not figure it out. That was Infinity Ward, by the way, too.
Of course it was, yeah. So anyway, this is coming back. Fast firing bullpup, a mid-range behemoth that can neutralize targets quickly within a few dozen meters. And then it's got some recoil, high fire rate, blah, blah, blah. This is probably going to be quite good. I think this thing is going to be fucking nasty for Resurgence specifically, because it's probably going to have too much recoil to be like a Moz gun, a Moz primary, but just using it with irons on like a Sheikah, it's probably going to be fucking gross. And who knows, they can balance it in a million ways. I don't know, but it's definitely like its own archetype. And I like when they add guns that feel different to guns we already have. And no matter what the case may be, this is going to feel a lot different than guns we already have in the game. This is why I'm confused about the M13C. Because that's a gun we don't need. We already have guns that fire bullets fully automatically and are otherwise unremarkable. This gun, though, is going to feel unique. So how well it performs, we'll keep you posted. They'll probably... put Season 5 out. There will be a weapon bundle for the FFAR. It's going to be fucking disgusting. Once they've sold most of the bundles, they'll nerf the shit out of it and it'll be unusable. That's my guess on how it's going to work. So anyway, there you go. This I'm pretty interested in reading about. The Karak 300 sniper rifle, again at launch. So I don't know what the fuck this looks like. It's a
Jake said like a
rifle. So
WA2000. Cool. I don't know what game that was from, but I don't remember using that. I guess that was in MW2 Black Ops. I don't remember it, honestly. Even looking at images, I don't remember it.
Yeah, so this
God, it's ugly.
Oh, okay, here we go. I am a Signal main now, so this might be my new gun. This semi-auto bullpup sniper rifle features an exceptionally high fire rate and a unique design for best-in-class handling and stability when on the move. Okay. So we're getting our second ever semi-auto sniper in MW2 and Warzone. And this is going to be different than the Signal because unlike the Signal, supposedly, it's going to be higher fire rate and also better handling. So to compensate for that, it's probably going to have less damage than a Signal, but it's still probably going to do a lot of headshot damage. Enough, for sure. I'm curious what the magazine size is going to be. That's where I'm at. Because if I can put like a 15 round mag on this bitch, I will be using this in ranked Warzone specifically. And I'll be happy about it.
Yeah, I wonder. I'm guessing 5, maybe similar to the Signal, it'll have like an extended 7 or something, maybe up to a 10. I doubt we're seeing a 15 with the semi-auto.
It looks like a 5 round mag in the image for sure. Yeah. Once again, these are the kind of guns I really do like to see them add to the game. Because we don't really have a gun like this. A semi-auto sniper that has fast fire rate and very fast handling. We don't have that type of gun right now in Warzone or in MW2. So when they add one, that's cool. It's like a new type of gun that does a different thing than every other gun in the game. So again, kudos, irrespective of how well it's going to perform. It's definitely going to be good in multiplayer, by the way. There's no nerf they could make to make this not good in multiplayer. So this thing's going to be a menace in multi, for sure. Because it's definitely always going to be a one-shot kill to like upper chest and head. And it's also semi-auto with fast handling. So it's going to be really good in multiplayer, always. For Warzone, we'll see. But I'm excited. That sounds interesting. And then we're getting 4 new guns in season. Here's the M13C. So I have questions. Let's see what they say. The 300 BLK counterpart to the M13B. This full auto AR is versatile and hard hitting as a main weapon or sniper support secondary. Okay, so it's exactly what I said. The only difference is that it's only the ammo type. So it's going to feel exactly the same as every other full auto AR in the game. Wildly uninteresting, don't care, didn't ask, stop making it, and don't release it. Yeah, I don't know.
I wonder what the mag sizes will be on that. If you can still put like a 60 or something, then... Because, so on the actual M13 right now, it's just what, like a 30 round mag, right?
I mean, you can, by default, it's 30. I think you can put extended on an M13. I'm almost certain.
No, what I'm talking about, I thought it had something like it changed the caliber, didn't it? I guess not.
I think there are mag attachments, and then there's the ammo type is where you would change it to the blackout rounds. For
I
the
guess
M13B.
I was thinking, Huh. I don't even see it on Sim. I'm confused. I thought it had that. Maybe I'm thinking of Warzone 1 where it had a mag that changed the caliber then, and then it was a 30 round mag.
In Warzone 1, it was a mag that changed the caliber, yeah.
And that was, I think, for the M13. That must be what I'm thinking of, yeah.
Yeah, and for other guns, they did that for a couple.
Yeah.
Like the M4, it had a 10 round mag that used SOCOM rounds. So they tied in the caliber to the mag, not the ammo type.
Hemlock, yes, absolutely. That's what I'm thinking of. Thanks. Hemlock has that, what I'm talking about in this game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
so not the M13. And that like lowers the fire rate, I think, or something too. So it won't be good, yeah.
Yeah, it's just gonna be another fucking AR. I don't know why they're doing it. So anyway, whatever. And then new SMG and sidearm mid-season as well. So yeah, once again, it's going to be like an MP5 based on the screenshot, and then just a semi-auto pistol, which we certainly don't need, but whatever. And then there's going to be a pickaxe. Okay, so then 6 new operators.
Was the last one a pickaxe?
Mid-season. Yeah, I guess.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, I guess pickaxe. I refuse to talk about melee weapons. They don't matter.
The pickaxe will be simple yet effective. Wow, very cool. Nice. Yeah, these sound interesting. I'm excited for that MP5, actually. That looks dope.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm excited mainly for the launch guns, actually. I think those are by far the most interesting. But anyway, whatever. We'll keep you guys posted, of course. So yeah, they talk about a bunch of operators don't care. Some more operators still don't care. New war tracks. Cool. Oh, you know what?
Don't tell us.
Actually, hold on. There are war track like packs for rap eras. So like 80s, 90s, and 2000s. That's kind of cool.
That's cool, yeah.
I don't use war tracks. I have them on 0% audio because my dog shit teammates use war tracks and I don't want to hear them. But that is actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
That's a cool idea to do with your rap operators. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
You know what they should do with audio?
Hit them up from Tupac when they're coming by in an MRAP.
God, imagine.
Dude, they're going to be in an MRAP that's going to have 1 or 2 turrets. We don't know yet. And they're going to be blasting Tupac, hit them up while they fuck your ass
just
in
gonna
the
start,
final circle. And there's nothing
I
you
fucked
can
you,
do
bitch,
about
you
it.
fat motherfucker. However that song starts. That's Tupac's best song, by the way. Hit 'em up. If you guys haven't heard that is the best song.
Great
Fuck, that's
song.
a banger.
Yeah.
Gabe put me on that in 2004 or something. God, that was a banger.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
That's a good little track for sure. So, that's
know what's funny about the war packs, by the way? They're adding all these different hip hop war packs. You know what's interesting with the audio on vehicles in this game? Have you ever been to the train? Have you ever used the train on Al-Mazrah? I don't know if you've noticed. It's a silent train. It doesn't make sound. It is a silent train.
It's silent,
Something else interesting. Helicopters are silent. I don't know if you noticed that. They don't make sound either most of the time. All of a sudden you'll die and you'll be like, what happened? Someone crashed their helicopter and they don't make sound ever. They'll be hovering right above you. Suddenly the audio will cut in or cut out. Vehicles don't make a sound. So let's be super clear. Not a single one of those bugs will be fixed on the launch of the season, but these war tracks will work perfectly.
Oh, that'll be
perfectly.
excellent. Yeah.
It's very cool.
Yeah, it's going to be like DVD quality. They're going to remaster all of Tupac's songs just for the War Tracks pack.
Yeah, they're going to make an option to leave the radio on when you get out of the car so it can keep blasting as you run around loot. Yeah. But the helicopters and the train will still be silent.
Yeah, so that's good.
Good stuff, devs.
Anyway, so cool. But anyway, it's kind of cool to add. If you have War Tracks, you got to add rap. If you have rap operators, so that's pretty dope. The Snoop Dogg operator. Dude, this looks exactly like him. You know how the Nick Mercs and the Tim the Tap Man kind of looked like them? Their skins?
They look pretty good, I think. I think the biggest thing with the operators, it comes down to the eyes looking weird. And this one, he has sunglasses on, so I think that's why you're thinking that.
Yeah,
it's the eyes that always throw you off.
You could be right.
But Snoop's in Warzone 1 looked pretty shit. Yeah. So I think they've progressed a little bit. Pretty disgusting. There's a marijuana leaf on his gun. My whole family died of marijuana overdoses, but they put his skin in the game and they don't allow Nick Mercs to have one. Think of the children, please. Please think of the children for once, COD.
Okay.
And that's a TAC 56 skin, so that'll be buffed in Season 5.
Yeah, so if there's a bundle or a skin, yeah. And this looks like is this the Squall?
That is the Cronin, so the Cronin will not be getting nerfed going into Season 5 anymore, correct?
Yeah, so Nicki Minaj
that is actually
got that Squall on her.
That's a cool little Squall little setup there. I don't think that's a 50-round mag on that, so that will be... Yeah, that's cool.
I'm going to have a black mag on this pink gun, yeah.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. You going to buy Nicki, man?
No, of course not. I don't.
You will see Nicki's bundle everywhere. I think that'll be the most popular one.
Oh yeah,
because of these little
especially
horny kids.
In the third-person game modes. Yeah,
that's why they're adding it. Yeah. So we were talking about that in Discord a little bit. I'm thinking Nicki will have like a built-in fourth armor slot basically because her ass, so you get an extra 50 health if you buy the bundle in DMZ.
It's gonna be a big old hitbox if they're running away from you. A real big hitbox. Yeah. So
anyway. That'd be cool.
So we'll see how they balance that. And then 21 Savage, which for some reason they aren't showing yet. You just see a silhouette.
21. Is that what he looks like? I don't know what the guy even looks like.
He doesn't look like
21
a black
Savage.
Silhouette. No.
Wait. He's British? A British rapper?
Is he British?
He was born there.
Oh, I didn't know
He was born in the United Kingdom. Don't rap if you were born in Britain, please.
Dude, there's a lot of rappers.
Jesus Christ.
There are a lot of rappers in England, man.
Okay.
They be rapping. doing all kinds of
Yeah,
stuff.
add a Tupac operator, then I'd buy one. Or
Yeah.
Biggie. That'd be cool.
I did
Big-
not know
big old
21
fat
Savage
bitch.
was English. That's it. That's
He
interesting.
probably moved here when he was like 6 months old or something. Yeah, because he doesn't sound British at all, does he?
No,
I
but
guess you can't tell when they sing.
yeah. But he does actually, though. If you hear a British rapper, you can hear their accent. So yeah, he probably just moved to the States when he was young or something. But anyway, yeah. For whatever reason, they're not previewing his operator skin. They just show the silhouette. But he's coming too.
Moved to Atlanta, Georgia at age 7, then moved back to the UK at age 12, and then went
Oh.
back. So yeah, he probably sounds like a little
Probably sounds like Andrew Tate.
little American boy.
Anyway, so moving on, perfect timing, time for Prestige 21. This is the first good thing the writer of Patch Notes has ever done. Time for Prestige 21, and then in parentheses they wrote 21 because that's what 21 Savage does. It's like 21.
That's funny.
You know, yeah, that's funny.
That is. That's funny.
I like this a
That's
lot.
cute.
So good job.
Well, they know more about 21 Savage than their own games, so it makes sense.
They probably know more about particle physics than they know about their own game, which is to say almost nothing. Yeah. So anyway, whatever. So yeah, more prestige levels. Super don't care.
Oh,
Out of
hit level
combat
1,000 this
overview.
season. That'll be cool. Wonder if that'll be bugged like in Warzone 1
Yes.
where like the 0 overlapped into the scoreboard.
It'll all be bugged. Yeah. World Series Warzone Global Final. Yeah, I don't care.
What's going on right now? Guess what's happening right now, by the way? World Series of Warzone is happening. The final match they're waiting to start. BattleNet is down. So it's delayed because BattleNet is down. Really cool stuff, huh?
But Tanner, that doesn't matter because the MX Guardian and semi-auto now doesn't have severely reduced damage range when fighting AI, specifically in DMZ.
Yeah.
So I don't know why you're complaining about the World Series of Warzone not working. I don't know why you're complaining. So anyway, fuck Infinity Ward. Moving on. Interestingly, they say Call of Duty's World Series of Warzone tickets are on sale now, but also they're not on sale because they're sold out.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they said that. Well, actually, yes, I do, because Infinity Ward goes on the internet and tells lies. That's what they do. So these tickets are not on sale. There are no more tickets to be sold. So yeah, just keep that in mind. They're not on sale now. So anyway, get scalped, I guess. So yeah, they talk about it. I don't care. Okay, and that's it. Yeah, so there's the absolute fucking road map. What are your thoughts?
No different thoughts, pretty much, from aside from what I said when we looked at the roadmap. Tons of content, that's cool. I just want to see the patch notes, though, and the bug fixes. That's what I'm way more curious about. And the new Resurgence map, that will be interesting. I hope it's good. I just don't have the highest hopes for it.
Unsurprisingly, much to my surprise, actually, I think I'm most excited for this season than I've ever been for another season of MW2. Because we're getting a new Resurgence map. Now, let me be clear. I'm not optimistic, but we are getting a lot of new things that are actually going to be impactful to me. Whether they will positively or negatively be impactful is an open question, but still, we're getting a whole new ass Resurgence map. That'll be interesting, at least. And the two launch guns are also both quite interesting to me. And they have the capability to change the whole weapon meta landscape, and not necessarily by just becoming the new OP gun, but rather by filling a niche that doesn't exist yet. Mainly with the semi-auto sniper. Like now we might just see more people using that, but that's never going to be the meta gun, period, because some people are going to want to use full auto guns. So we're actually just going to have a new gun archetype that enters the meta, which makes things way more interesting than every single person using a full auto gun. That's cool. I'm excited a lot about that, to use it myself and just for the landscape to change. In addition to the FFAR, that'll have a similar, though less dramatic impact, potentially, on the meta. And then the new ass map is going to be cool, too. And then, aside from that, Yeah. Aside from that, of course, like Tanner said, it's just going to be like, what other bugs do they fix? What other weapon balance do they do? What other little things are they going to add or subtract? And again, how will they handle Fortress in terms of favorite supply box, static buys, balloons, redeploy flares, etc.? I'm very curious to see what they do there. Occupation scan event, other like fire sale public events, jailbreaks. Fortress might have its own unique shit, just like Vondel has favorite supply boxes and only Vondel has that. Maybe Fortress is going to have some interesting, unique mechanic. It's possible. And maybe it'll be good or fun. So yeah, there's actually, yeah, I'm very, very excited for this season. I think it has a lot of potential. Whether it lives up to it or not is, of course, again, a separate question. But I'm excited. I think it looks pretty good.
One thing that does worry me is, like in previous seasons, like in season 4, I'm looking at the roadmap now, they showed a bunch of like Vondel specific things, like how we were getting the new public events, the reinforcement flare, the dynamic fog. It didn't mention like the favorite supply box or stuff like that, but it mentions nothing like that when it comes to Warzone. Nothing. It shows that shit for DMZ, but nothing for Warzone. For their gameplay features, it shows us 2 new vehicles that I just don't care about.
Yeah.
So that worries me. I wonder if we're getting like no real gameplay changes like that. That's what I'm kind of thinking. Tons of content though, regardless if you're into that. So whatever.
Yeah, we'll see. So anyway, now moving on to news and upcoming changes. I'm going to go piss out of my giant dick, Tanner, so you can take over or we can take a break. You can pick. I'll be right back.
Yeah, so let me look through these real quick. Most of these we already talked about now. We'll start here because PlayStation blog accidentally leaked this kind of. Lara Croft from Tomb Raider is coming to Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone for the PlayStation blog. Charlie Intel tweeted this out. They talked about a new video game icon. Lara Croft is coming in a new operator bundle arriving in Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone. No idea when. Once this season launches, it will be leaked. So at the launch of Season 5 next Wednesday, this will be leaked in the files probably. And it'll tell us if it's coming out later in the season. Maybe even not till the next season of the game. I don't know. But regardless, that will be coming. Kind of a weird one. Is Tomb Raider even relevant anymore? Hold on. When was the last Tomb Raider movie? 2018, I guess? Oh, it's like a fake Tomb Raider. Yeah. Very weird. I don't understand this. And it was a different actress in the recent one. So I don't even know who this would be based on. Weird. Anyways, that's coming. Cool, I guess. What was next? So yeah, we're talking about the MW3 leaks. Not really. It's actually official now. Sledgehammer has responded to some of this. COD has been responding to different things regarding leaks on Twitter. They've been like doing little cryptic, stupid, dumb shit tweets. But so some guy leaked an image. This guy must work for like a printing press or something. He leaked an image of the Modern Warfare 3 logo. It is like the key art for. This is probably like a box of Mountain Dew or something like this. So it shows Captain Price, Modern Warfare 3 logo. It is in red. And it's like this shit we get every single year. So Monster, you buy Doritos, you get X amount of hours of double XP, X amount of hours double weapon XP, you get a charm, shit like that. You don't actually have to buy it usually. You just go and steal the code on the outside.
Yeah.
Go home, insert the code, and then save your money. And then some guy will buy it thinking he'll get the code, and then he doesn't get anything. Yeah. So that's cool. And that's pretty much been confirmed. Interestingly enough, when this leaked, a lot of people were saying this was fake, which I thought was weird. I'm like, how would that be fake? Like the guy's holding like a cardboard box. Yeah, I'm like, okay, I guess it could be fake, but of all the things, this does not seem fake at all. So Sledgehammer and Call of Duty have responded to. They've been saying, like COD the other day tweeted something like, what are your 3 favorite things about Call of Duty? And they did like the 3 lines. Yeah, so it's, they've been hinting at it. And everyone's like, just shut the fuck up and either reveal the game or don't. Why do you do this every year? It gets leaked before you reveal anything. It kills the hype. You then wait too long to reveal. You killed all your hype.
And there
doesn't matter. They get the sales, but it makes it so uninteresting when they drag this shit out for weeks and they're doing it again.
There are theories that when things like this leak and then COD immediately confirms it, that the original leaker is another PSYOP division at Activision, much like Infinity Ward's QA team. That's a PSYOP. It's not real. This is another PSYOP division where they pretend things have leaked and then they confirm them, when in reality, the guy who has the monster that took the picture, that is Joe Apricot, and he gets on his alt Twitter account, posts it at the behest of Activision, and then they say, "Oh no, it leaked. I guess we'll go with it." This happens every fucking year. I'm more and more inclined to believe that theory that people have said. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Of course.
You should go hang out with this _iron.
Well, this
in
is
his basement.
This in his bunker. You mean?
In his bunker, yeah.
This is way less outlandish than some of the things he believes. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, it's confirmed.
It's official.
It's official. And by the way, this is the logo that we covered in our Patreon episode about the MW3 leaks. One of the leaks was the new art for MW3, and it is exactly the same art that we talked about there that leaked when we did that episode. Yeah. So yeah, not surprising there. The Lara Croft thing, I'm with you, by the way. Don't get it. Don't care. No one cares about Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider is so dead, right?
No one who plays Warzone knows what Tomb Raider is. I can't believe they're doing it. Those games are like almost too old for us. Like Tomb Raider was like not dying in popularity by the time I was playing video games. I don't know. It's weird. But anyway, yeah, whatever. Yeah. So that's that.
So the other thing COD responded to, and I was talking about like the dumb cryptic tweet. So when it all the box image got leaked of like the Monster Dew can, COD tweeted the next day, "Woo, Monday. Does anyone have an energy drink they could spare?" So, they've been responding to it. So it's definitely real. That's them confirming it.
Yeah.
Another thing. So, yeah, we had talked about this a bit on the Patreon episode. So one of the leakers had been going around saying this game will not have a campaign. And I totally believe that. I still almost think it won't have a campaign. But Charlie Intel tweeted out a few days ago, Modern Warfare 3 does have a campaign despite some weird rumors. As leaked by Insider Gaming early this year, the game will have a campaign early access. When did they have time to do this if this was originally going to be a expansion? So one of them is a lie. Either we're not getting a campaign, or all the rumors of this ever being an expansion was always a lie. Because campaigns take a long ass time to make. And especially if it's a Modern Warfare campaign, as thorough, as close to how MW2 was, I don't know. Maybe it's just going to be a lot shorter or something.
Or shittier. Yeah,
much shittier. It has to be, or everything was a lie about this ever being an expansion.
Fewer cutscenes, no more motion capture, like fewer of the crazy voice actors.
And at that point, how can you go from MW2 campaign, which was really good and had all that, to this? So that if it is going to be something like that, then why even waste your time on a campaign? I don't know.
And keep in mind, by the way, Charlie Intel has been. They haven't fallen off yet, but they're getting there. They lost access to the little fucking dev calls. They've been subtweeting. And
I think he's back in them.
And outright criticizing Activision lately.
Yeah.
He is not in the good graces of Activision currently. So he has less access to information than he did a year ago. Put it that way. So I don't know. I don't know what to believe. Some leakers are saying there won't be a campaign, and then I guess others are. Is Charlie Intel any more reputable than the other leakers? Yes. Most of them. He's not more credible than like Tom Henderson at Insider Gaming, but I guess I had forgotten this. Insider Gaming is evidently one of the leakers, Tom Henderson, to have said there will in fact be a campaign in MW3. And if that's true, I'm inclined to believe it. Not because Charlie Intel said so, but because Tom Henderson said so. That guy always gets it right. And the only time he didn't get it right was about Cold War something or other, a Cold War BR map or mode.
Ural Mountains.
Ural Mountains, yeah.
Ural
and the only
Mountains,
reason that was inaccurate is because when he leaked it, that was the dev's plan, and then the dev's plan changed later, rendering the leak inaccurate. But not because his source had bad intel. It's because his source later changed his mind. Or the company, obviously, later changed their minds about doing Ural Mountains. So, yeah, I don't know how this makes sense either, though. It's either going to be, it has to be, dramatically shorter than the MW2 campaign if they've only had a year to work on this game instead of 3 years like they normally do. Dramatically lower quality than the MW2 campaign. Or it's a lie that they've only been working on it for a year. Yeah.
Yeah.
It has, or they are going to do a campaign, but it's going to be something like, kind of like a hybrid between the raids hypothesis and a traditional campaign. Maybe they're going to do something like, hey, if you pre-order, you get campaign early access for MW3, but instead of the whole campaign, you get early access to the first 4 missions, and then on launch, there are only 4 missions. And then in season 2 or season 1, they add another 2 campaign missions instead of raids, like we talked about a couple days ago or episodes ago. And then season 2, they add 2 more campaign missions, etc., etc. That would also be possible, but it has to be like one of those 4 things. Nothing else is possible. They can't have made a campaign of the caliber of the MW2 campaign for MW3 on 1 year notice. That's not possible. So something has to give there.
Yeah, I think what Absolute is saying in chat, the campaign was always there as a year 2 DLC, remarketed as a new game. That's probably true. That's what it could have been with the DLC they were designing. So maybe essentially when they did the campaign for MW2, they probably also just did the MW3 campaign at that same time, basically. They probably designed, recorded, did all the acting shit, whatever you called it. What is it called? Where they have the real people, their faces. They probably already did all the motion capture back then, actually, before the MW2 campaign even launched. True. That would make the most sense because they have all the people, they have all of it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably correct.
So then that's actually good because that means the campaign will be good.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
And it'll get early access. I hadn't thought about that. That's a good point.
That's a great point from Absolute. Yeah. So the expansion pack that was originally planned probably included a campaign. So that has in fact had 3 years of development time. The only rushed part is the multiplayer and the camos and the Warzone and shit. So that's going to be the rushed part, but the campaign doesn't need to be rushed because they were going to do it whether it was going to be an X-Pack this year or a full release this year. In either case, they've already been planning the campaign. Yeah. Okay. That makes a lot of sense, and I totally believe that.
Yeah. That's probably how it works.
Yeah. Good comms, Absolute. Good comms. Yeah.
But yeah, then moving on here, we have a little leak from Metaphor. So before we talk about this, if you guys forget, Metaphor is a streamer. He somehow has some insider sources. He never leaks stuff aside from maybe once a year. He'll talk about some things he has seen. Everything he usually talks about and leaks is because he saw gameplay somehow. It's not because someone told him that playable giraffes that had mounted machine guns were coming to Ural Mountains. It is because he sees the shit, and he usually has a brain. Unlike some people.
He has never been wrong about a leak ever.
So he was the guy before Warzone 2 came out, if I'm not mistaken. He was the one that leaked in some cryptic messages on Twitter. There were going to be no loadout drops. There were AI all over the map. What else? There were like 4 things he talked about, and all of them were true. One of them kind of
might have been one of them.
Yes, 2v2 Gulag. I think that was the other thing. And there was one other thing that I think one of them he was kind of half right on, half wrong, but it was like they could have probably just changed the design last minute. So he got everything right, the base of it, the gist of it. So this is what he tweeted yesterday, 2 days ago.
Again, this is from Metaphor. New Warzone map coming in MW3 looks amazing. Slide canceling is in the current build. It was also in MW2, but removed. No giant hill in the middle of the map. Tons of buildings and POIs, unlike Caldera. Lots of areas that look memorable. I think it will be a lot of people's favorite map. Downtown is very Verdansk-like, with the biggest building being Overwatch from MW3 DLC at the top. Very reminiscent of Blackout's construction site. Countdown from COD 4 is also on the map. Game looks exactly like MW2 but improved, hoping they make animation smooth and faster. Yeah, so let's break it down. To start with the slide canceling thing, to be clear, there are two different people that talk about slide canceling. Some people that talk about slide canceling thinks that means it resets tac sprint. No, that's not what it means. The sliding right now in this game is shit because once you slide, you're stuck in it. You can't do anything about it. The way it should work is you should be able to jump out of a slide, do other things out of a slide. You should be able to hit fire with a slide. I think that's what he's referring to. Slide canceling, resetting tac sprint like we had the whole time Warzone 1 existed, that is most certainly never coming back to the game. They confirmed, in fact, Ted Timmons confirmed at one point on Twitter, that was a bug, quote, a bug that they just never fixed. It never changed because it was in there for so long. He had talked about that in the Caldera era. So that's not what he means. He probably just means the game will have a usable slide, which is cool. That's great because we don't have that currently. And then him talking about a lot of people's favorite map, I think that him having that opinion is good because I feel like we usually share similar opinions to him. He wasn't the biggest fan of Caldera. He also didn't hate it like a lot of people felt. And that's kind of how we were most of the time. We liked it at first. We thought it was cool. We ended up never really hating it. It just kind of was a boring shit map in general. And it kind of just became uninteresting. And then downtown, very Verdansk-like. That would worry me, but also downtown right now in Al Mazrah isn't bad. There's plenty of tall buildings and it's fine.
He also might mean the downtown of the new map specifically is similar to Verdansk in general. He might not mean the downtown of the new map is similar to downtown in Verdansk. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know, because he does talk about the biggest building, so I don't know. Overwatch is similar to what's the MW2 map with the helicopter at the top?
High Rise. High
Rise. Overwatch is similar to something like High Rise, basically. It's a cool little POI, so that's dope. And then Countdown from COD 4, I mean, it's fine. Countdown is a miserable multiplayer map. It's flat. It's like a hangar. There are jets around. I think it's like a missile silo, so they're big areas where big ass hangar. It has a few hangars. I wouldn't say there's like a giant one. Most of the map is actually kind of more open. It's a shit map. It's not memorable. But yeah, if it's just part of the Warzone map, that's fine. It'd be better as a Warzone POI than it would be multiplayer map. But yeah, so this sounds interesting. And there's been talk about whether or not this is actually Las Almas. Some leakers are saying that Las Almas is in fact not this map that he's referring to, and maybe it's not actually coming, or it's coming later as a big map, or this is Las Almas, but there kind of seems to be some back and forth with that. Because the way he describes it certainly doesn't sound like it'd be Las Almas, right? Because that's more of like I guess it could be it.
It could be. It could be. It's impossible to say.
I was kind of thinking because like the downtown thing, but they can put downtown on any map.
There are downtowns.
Just a small POI, yeah.
In South America, yeah. I mean,
there are some big downtowns in South America.
Mexico City is like, I think Mexico City is like one of the 10 biggest cities on Earth.
Isn't Mexico City? It has like the most people per square mile, however they determine that. It's very, very populated.
It has some stat like that where it's big and by some metric. Yeah, Mexico City is like popping. So none of this precludes it being Las Almas. Yeah, no doubt. Whether it is or not, I don't know. And honestly, I don't care either. You could name it, Unicorn Cox. If it's a fun map, then I'll love Unicorn Cox. I don't care what it's called. And I don't care what the lore about it is. Oh, is it where the campaign mission 7 took place? I don't give a fuck. Is it a fun map?
It's not that. It's just people, a lot of the leaks have been thinking it's Los Alamos, and you know how that looks from the campaign, and then this sounds like just something totally different, like entirely. It's not like because of the name. But yeah, I don't know, because everything out of Los Alamos was very interesting looking, and there were some cool POIs and stuff like that. So this may just be something entirely different that we've never seen.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. I would like to look back at that one image of the map of Los Alamos.
I
on
can
the
probably
wall.
find it.
Yeah,
I can actually probably go to our TikTok
pull
and find
that
it from a
sucker
while
up
ago.
and give me a little link if you find it, and I can pull it up for the broadcast, and we can see if we can find a downtown like area.
Yeah,
because that would be a good indicator. Because one thing that would be good for if it is Los Alamos is we could chart the whole map before it comes out, including where the water's at. This is what Tom Henderson did for us, by the way, before Warzone 2 came out. We got like a very rough sketch of Al Mazrah, including like where the water was and shit, and it was completely accurate. It was low resolution, but it was completely accurate. So if the Los Alamos map can incorporate a downtown, then maybe we can do the same kind of thing. We'll have the schematics for the new BR map, which could be interesting. But I do like a lot of this. Obviously, I do want slide canceling. I just don't want it resetting tac sprint. I want tac sprint to start again without me doing anything other than sprinting. That's how you solve that issue. You shouldn't require any type of extra input from a player. If they start tac sprinting and then they run out of tac sprint and they're regular sprinting and they just keep regular sprinting, by the time tac sprint is available again, your character should automatically go into it. Or at least there should be an option in your settings to enable that functionality. You shouldn't have to do any animation to reset tac sprint. And there certainly shouldn't be an animation to lower the cooldown on tac sprint, which is what we had in Warzone 1, I believe, which was slide canceling, which is fucking insane. Because then it's just tedious. You have to be slide canceling to move your character efficiently and quickly. But you should be allowed to cancel your slide. Yeah, obviously. And you should also be able to shoot your gun while you slide. Neither of which is the case in MW2. And that tremendously impacts and hurts the mobility and fluidity, arguably more importantly, in the game. So if that is coming back, slide canceling, that's very good. But I don't know what anyone means when they say slide cancel, because they use those two separate definitions interchangeably. So I don't know what metaphor means. I don't know if he means slide canceling as in it resets tac sprint, or if he just means you can simply stop the animation before it's complete and that it doesn't reset tac sprint. I don't know, and no one who uses the phrase slide cancel knows either. So, So either way, whatever. No giant hill in the middle of the map. That is one thing that is interesting to say, because of the last 3 Warzone maps, 2 of them have had a big giant hill in the middle of the map.
Giant ass hill, yeah.
Caldera and MWIII. Giant hill in the middle of the map. Observatory and Caldera, respectively. Verdansk was the only one without that. So I am not at all surprised that they won't be doing that again, because Verdansk was the most popular map. Maybe not only because of the map itself, but they might be thinking that, Activision. But also they might just want to mix it up and not put a big giant hill in the center again. That wouldn't surprise me at all. And it would be refreshing to have that be an experience, because when there is Observatory or the volcano in Caldera, that really is a dramatic impact on how the map feels and plays virtually every single game. It's like a defining feature of each of those 2 maps, is that the middle of it is a slope up to a high point. That's a big deal. And that's going to feel a certain type of way, and it's going to play a certain type of way. And if you've played Verdansk versus Caldera or MWIII for any length of time, you've probably noticed that. So not having that would be a nice change of pace, if only for the novelty of it, frankly. I don't think it's necessarily bad to have a big hill in the middle of the map. I think it's bad if you do it like Caldera, because it was entirely too steep and not climbable in many areas of the Caldera. But like on Maz Observatory, I think the big I think that POI is like fine. But I would also like to have a new experience for the next map. That would be good. It's not that like Observatory is bad or a giant hill is bad. It's just I'm ready for something else. And then downtown is very Verdansk-like. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that means. Again, if this means like the downtown of the MW3 Warzone map is going to be like the Tovorsk district ground war map from Warzone 1, then I won't like that. No. Because that's miserable dog shit and trash in ground war and in Warzone. It was never fun going through downtown when there were 25-story buildings and enemy players could shoot out of a window on every single one of those 25 stories, including the roof. That sucked. It was dog shit. It was never fun, and I wouldn't like to see that come back. But maybe that's not exactly what he means. Maybe that's in a way in which this is not like Verdansk. And maybe Activision has taken a page out of the Vondel playbook and added a lot of tall buildings, but no windows you can shoot out of at every single level. So you can only shoot out of the bottom room or the roof. And that would be fine. If they boarded up all of the windows in downtown Verdansk, I would have liked that POI a lot more, actually. So maybe they would do that too for this new map. And then a downtown like Verdansk would be okay. So this is all pretty interesting. And like Tanner said, we agree with Metaphor pretty often about his opinions. So this bodes well for us, for sure.
Yeah. So I put a couple of things in internal for you to look at.
Okay.
The first one, that is an image from the trailer from season 5. Some people, like the Gaming Revolution, said that may be a first look at the next Warzone map, like that may be in it, because that looks like a Las Almas set thing. I don't know. I don't know if he's been right about anything in the last 4 years. But
he fell off, for sure.
That is one theory he has, at least. I don't really know what I think about that. Probably not. It's probably just a map.
Well, I will say this kind of looks like Las Almas. It looks like it could be.
It does. It probably is. I mean,
especially
a lot of the maps in the game
roof.
are part of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So he could be right. He could be right.
Yeah. And then the next one there, this is the leak, or this is not leak. This is in the game. This is in the campaign. And it is a map that says Las Almas, and it was on the wall or on the desk in one of the campaign missions.
Yes.
And yeah, so this does look like there's a downtown on the bottom side of it. Doesn't look like there's some massive mountain in the middle of it, but it's very hard to tell from this. So this could still be the new look at.
Based on everything Metaphor said, this schematic does not preclude Metaphor's description being Las Almas. Yeah.
And it would make sense. There's water going through the middle of it. There's water on the outside. So it all lines up completely.
Yeah, right here could be downtown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like a port and everything. Makes sense. I'm still thinking this is a map that we're going to be getting. Yeah. And it kind of is. So he had said, there are a lot of buildings. What did he say? No giant hill, not tons of buildings and POIs. Judging from this, it doesn't look like there's a lot of buildings at all, but a lot of these open areas have kind of nothing, according to this little picture.
It looks like there are a lot of POIs. It looks like there's kind of a lot of buildings.
Yeah, I guess so. Anything like the top right of the map. I just thought, I was kind of thinking he meant more like buildings everywhere on the map. This still seems like there's a lot of open spaces. And then the POIs in general, I guess, do have a lot of buildings. Yeah, on the north side, northeast, northwest side of the map. That is true, I guess.
He also said there's going to be that Overwatch map, right? We wouldn't be able to tell if there's an Overwatch map here, would we?
Downtown is for sure would be in the south there, though.
Yeah,
south of the map.
100%. 100%. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, it could very well still be Las Almas, for sure. For absolutely sure. So, cool.
Yeah, hopefully that's it.
Yeah.
Looks cool. And then last thing, this just came out when we were doing the pod. Charlie Intel tweeted out, Infinity Ward took the Modern Warfare 2 2009 PC servers offline because hackers were spreading malware through online lobbies. So this is from an article from TechCrunch, I guess. I'm not reading the whole article, but a Steam forum alerted other players of COD MW2 that hackers attack using hacked lobbies and suggesting running an antivirus. The malware mentioned in the thread appears to be on the malware online. Another player claimed to have analyzed a malware, blah, blah. Yeah, so basically they were loading into servers and they were infecting your computer with the malware. Good stuff. So again, don't buy a PC, don't play on PC, don't play on KBAM. Buy a console, plug in a controller, and play your video games on it.
Yeah.
PCs are shit.
Cringe,
don't buy them.
Worth buying, yeah.
Yeah, they're a waste of money.
From anyone, though. Yeah.
I'm very excited to get a console, yeah.
So anyway,
this is probably coming out because a bunch of people right now are going back and playing old COD games, and then they're talking, "Oh my god, these games are so much better." Guess what? It's been 7 days, and it's already died off on Twitter because people stopped playing them because they realize those games are repetitive and there's nothing to do in them. So
yeah, they
get boring.
Yeah, grow up. Yeah,
grow up.
Go read a book or something if you're that.
Grow up and buy the new cat skin. You know.
Well,
good pussy.
Anyway, that's it. Patreon.com/thedropshot. We got one more. We've just released quite a few bonus episodes that are really good. Go listen to them if you're a patron. If you're not a patron, become one and go listen to them. And then we also have one more banger Patreon episode hitting your stupid ears soon. It is going to be about Resurgence/Vondel Brainstorm. Patreon.com/thedropshot. You also get ad-free and early access episodes for the public eps as well. Hang out tomorrow for you Damascus patrons. Don't forget on Friday. And we will see you Saturday for an episode. What are we doing Saturday? Did we decide?
Going live. I don't know.
Yeah, we're pressing the button for sure. So
figure it out.
Stay humble.
Stay humble.